Pete Davis plans.
In an honor.
Yes.
In an honor, if you see right behind me, I've hung my "Don't Tread on Me" sign, which is what, the Gadsden flag or something?
Oh, well, you're obviously a white supremacist and a racist and want to kill all black people. Is that what that means? I think that's what the Democrats say, isn't it?
No, it means don't tread on me as an American.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't mess with
me.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Anyway, so
I am going to sit in the river a lot this weekend. I'm going to eat a lot of hot dogs. I already got the strawberries ready, where you put the sugar in and let it melt down so you can put the strawberry shortcake ready.
Yeah.
Got that ready for tomorrow with some ice cream.
It's gonna my mother used to make the greatest her own homemade biscuits for strawberry shortcake. Oh God! And homemade whip, and I would make the whipped cream. And I was like, I could be 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and she had a little stool for me. I was her favorite of 5 kids from the time I was a baby, and she had a little stool for me. And so when I'd come home from school or something, and she'd be cooking and baking, and I'd get on my little stool and help her for a while before I went out to play. And anytime we had a dessert, I got to make the whipped cream because I liked it real sugary, and I also licked the bowl, and I got to do the beaters and everything. I said, "Oh, you always let him get the beater." Yeah, that's right too. Don't forget it, Which explains.
We used to fight over the beater. Yeah.
I always, because they knew I was the favorite. And it explains a lot, by the way. In fact, I wasn't going to reveal this. By the way, Flower. So any place you going to hang around, not traveling at all? For the holiday.
I'm not traveling this year. I'm just going to probably go down to the river a lot and just float.
Well, there you go. And Flounder, happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day weekend, long weekend we got in there. And any plans? You and Miss Flounder?
Headed to Flagler Beach to see her mom.
That's Florida, right?
Yep.
I've been to Flagler Beach. Is that near Pensacola?
St. Augustine? I think it's right by St. Augustine and another 45 minutes from Daytona.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Gorgeous.
Well, that'll be fun. And you're going to hit the beach and
hit the beach. She likes to cook, so I'm just going to be lazy, drink, and eat good food.
Outstanding. Well,
feed me, woman.
I need food. Oh, mercy.
Make me a sandwich.
Yeah, that always goes over well. Anyway, and it is, by the way, for record, we have a lot of newsy breaking things, including the FBI whistleblower, another whistleblower who's a Democrat at the FBI, is saying the FBI has been disciplining and punishing members of the FBI, taking away their security clearances and making their lives miserable if they're conservative. I mean, this is a Democrat saying, another whistleblower Democrat. I'm telling you, well, anyway, I've told you, and you know the story. And again, this is one of the reasons that the election that got President Crime Family elected was because of people like the FBI organizations and the DOJ and everything else were covered up for him. In fact, the former editor of the New York Times has now come out with a scathing report on the report blaming the reporters in Washington, D.C. for this entire debacle, covering up Biden. They all knew what was going on, and they've been hiding it for years. We outed them. Shit. The worst thing that's happened in this country is what's happened to the media, happened to the freedom of the press, now becoming an advocacy. Anyway, so we'll get to stuff like that. But just a couple things for the record. Again, it's 308 if you'd like to join us, 404-741-1230. For the record, the Declaration, oh, no, I wrote it down. No, I can't find it. Oh, I hate this. Oh, God, I hate this. Oh, I hate this so much, I can't stand myself. I found it. Okay. The Declaration, I hate that, the Declaration of Independence is more than just the opening line that maybe people know and maybe the last line. I'll bet you if you did a survey on basically all American citizens, how many American citizens do you think have ever actually read the Declaration of Independence front to back, word to word? 10%?
4%,
yeah,
maybe.
Something like that. And in fact, I printed up the copies of it here on my phone. I'm going to refer to a couple things for it. For the record, the Gettysburg Address was 272 words. Abe Lincoln's Gettysburg, 272 words. The Declaration of Independence, including the signatures, is 1,450 words. It's pages and pages and pages long. And for example, if you don't mind, again, I don't want to be a preacher thing or whatever stuff, because this, hearing me read something is fairly boring. But the first sentence alone is a paragraph, and it says, even before you get to what you think is probably the most famous phrase in the Declaration of Independence, it actually starts off like this. The unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. That was the setup to say we're separating and we're going to tell you why. Now, this is the most famous sentence you probably know is this one. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And it goes on and on and on. About whatever form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Again, they were saying, you're treating us like crap, and we have the right to uphold our own revolution against you. And by the way, these words are more important than ever right now today. Are you happy with where America's going right now? I don't think so. I mean, I've got a whole... They name the things that are wrong with the king one after another after another. There's pages and pages and pages and pages.
And none of it compares closely to what the federal government today is doing to us.
Exactly. I'll get to some of these a little bit later on, but one more, the last, where we get to the end of it, if you don't mind, again, I hope this isn't too preachy, but again, it's a freaking, Independence Day tomorrow, and you're probably never going to hear this and never read it. I urge you to read this declaration. You will be amazed if you haven't, and I'll bet you haven't. Our separation told them, we rest of mankind, enemies in war, in peace, friends. We, therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly publish and declare that these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Now, how many people believe that today? And by the way, if we're attacked, if we're actually attacked, how many people, what percentage of the grown-ups from 18 to whatever, until dead, from 18 up, what percentage of Americans would take up arms and be ready to die and kill for the country? I bet it's a hell of a lot lower than it was in 1941.
Yeah.
Or 42. Anyway. So I didn't mean to be so preachy. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Oh, by the way, the cost of a July 4th cookout hits a record high. And by the way, I really don't think it's bad, but it's true. I mean, everything's up, record highs to have your cookout. We got that. The whistleblower. We got a lot of politics. Oh, President White Trash says he's not going anywhere. Big claim saying he's not doing anything. He's staying in. It's over. All right, coming up 3:13. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. There we go.
The 2024 election is in sight, and it's time for conservatives to stop being polite.
This is the ball game. This is for all the marble. This is like
this is for the country.
This is 8 years of turmoil.
The voices you need during the biggest election of our lifetime are only on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on XTRA 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on XTRA 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
There are crazies on the road. Who knows where they're all going, but if one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant. He is the lawyer that used to work for the insurance company. The team at Van Sant Law knows who to call, what to say, and will make sure you get what you deserve and what the insurance company doesn't want to pay for. They have your best interest at heart and will take care of everything. If you don't get paid, they don't get paid. My advice, save Van Sant Law in your phone. Today, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com.
All right, I got it now. 318. Kind of feel like it's Let It Rip Friday. It's Wednesday, but we're who's doing the show Thursday and Friday? Do we know?
I believe Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Hi, Jimmy Fallon.
I actually was expecting the Friday song coming on. Like when we opened the show,
Yeah,
I thought the Cure was coming on.
Yeah, anyway, it's a hump day, but it's our last day of the week. And so we invite you. We have a phone call coming up. They take priority. First, a little musical thing from our musical director, Flounder. On this day, 2012, Kiss announced they're set to release a guitar-sized book which has unseen photographs from their 40-year career. This was 2012. A limited edition called Monster would be 3 feet tall. 3 feet is a book, 3 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide, the largest music book ever published. The price tag, $4,299. Yes. Yeah, if you're a fan, I guess you'd probably pay that.
You can get my book a lot less than that.
Hey, David, holy crap, we got dogs in the sports world, and let's see, Texas sucks, and Mississippi is much better. It was I went to college football, the Texas blow. I forgot what the exact title.
The totally biased guide to Southern college football.
Southern college football.
Canines of college football.
Canines of college football. Yeah.
I love Texas. I hate Oklahoma.
Sonoma.
Is apropos these days.
I got that one wrong there for sure. And Kimber Peden found Amazon.com right there, $3.19. In fact, I was going to do asked me to do a book signing at Barnes and Noble this weekend, and I unfortunately told him I really don't have a book, so it's kind of it's going to be kind of
whose
embarrassing.
fault is that?
Well, in fact, I have a lot of things to answer for in my life, and I just discovered something that makes me understand why I'm so screwed up. I found out not long ago, when I was a baby, my mother put her breasts in my mouth. Oh. Now, I mean, if you don't understand, I mean, how is that not going to screw a guy up for your entire life? It's 3:20 now. Shut up.
Got a phone call.
Well, let's get to Scotty, the window guy. Hey, man, what's going on? What up?
How the hell do I follow that?
Nobody does, my friend.
Holy crap. I was actually thinking about, the threats that our military bases are going to be attacked. And with this guy in the White House, and I don't know, you blew me away with that. Where do we stand with that? I'm in fear of, yes, I would take up arms right now. I'm always armed, and yes, I would fight for my country. And you were saying who would stand up and do it? I would.
Well,
what's your take?
I'm hoping that Scotty, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think the percentage would be a lot lower than it's been in years and years. I think the excuse would be astounding, racism or whatever, and supporting the white left. I don't know. I can't even think about it. I hope it'll never happen. And although I think the reason why it hasn't really happened. I mean, we had obviously the 9/11 attacks and so forth. But in fact, of having a foreign army swarm our borders from Canada and Mexico with the armed forces and tanks, stuff like that, it's because we're armed. America's got more guns than anybody. I mean, I think they're assuming that there might be at least some people saying, "Oh, no, I don't think so."
We literally have the largest standing militia in the world. The people who own guns in the United States outnumber every military on this planet combined.
Yeah, including ours. I mean, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, hell, my closet. Never mind.
You're safe.
In fact, I got a bunch of guns. I keep thinking, boys, let's take all my guns. I live 50 calibers and all that stuff. Let's go out to some farm somewhere and get some hay bales and Coke bottles and beer and just shoot them up and have a little fun. We never do it. We're never going to do it. So I might as well just sell them. Anybody want to buy my guns? They're all anyway. Stupid. 322. God, I'm just flangering like crazy here. Our birthday list includes that naughty little Olivia Munn. She's 44 today. Cy Locke in X-Men Apocalypse. God, Apocalypse. I never saw that, but I saw her. She's also the Imagine Dragons video for Cutthroat. But I remember her from Newsroom when she was in the.
You want to see her as Psylocke in that outfit.
Really?
That's what you want to see.
Psylocke, yeah. Olivia Munn. She's gorgeous. And she seems smart and quick and clever. And she was with Aaron Rodgers for a while, right? Is she a little freaky?
I think a long time ago. I thought she was smart, and then she got knocked up by that horrible comedian, John Mulvaney, who's never been funny. And she's battling breast cancer right now.
Yeah. Oh, I thought John Mulvaney is funny. I used to listen to him. I don't have the Comedy Channel on X anymore because I got too stupid expensive to have it separate. But when I was free for a while, and I always thought he was pretty amusing. But didn't he beat her up or something? Isn't he kind of a jerk?
No, he was a drug addict at the time.
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
Broke up with him. I don't know if they're back together or what.
Anyway, Olivia Munn. I hope she does well with her breast cancer. 44 years old today. And by the way, I have looked up some birthdays for tomorrow. And among celebrities' birthdays tomorrow, Jerry Rivers is going to be 81 years old today. Jerry, the famous. Oh, I'm sorry, I used his American name. Geraldo Rivera. His agent back in the 70s was also my agent when I was a TV anchorman. And he would tell me how they convinced him to change his name. He was Jerry Rivers. And they said, we need this guy. He did a documentary on the abuse of the children's homes, and that's where he got famous years and years ago. Anyway, so they made him in New York back when the Action News, the guy's on the streets going live everywhere. And and they said, well, you can't be Jerry Rivers, Well, our family name is Geraldo Rivera, by God. So there he is. So it's his birthday tomorrow. Jerry Rivers is 81, and Eva Marie Saint. I thought she was a classy, good-looking dame, man. Eva Marie Saint is the oldest living Oscar winner. Eva Marie Saint tomorrow on Independence Day turns 100 years old.
North by Northwest.
North by Northwest, among others. And was that the one John Travolta was having an affair with? Or was that, no, it was Dinah Shore.
North by Northwest?
No. John Travolta was having an affair with an older woman. I think it was either Eva Marie Saint or Dinah Shore or somebody.
You're thinking about Burt Reynolds with Dinah Shore.
Oh, that's right. Well, I'm telling you, John Travolta, I think it was Eva Marie Saint.
Really?
I should have looked it up. It came to my head just now. And also, one more thing. God, am I stalling? Am I embarrassing myself? I don't know. On this day in 1980, you idiot. 1968. I don't know why I'm all franked up today. I feel great. I'm happy. I'm just, the sun's out and, no one's shooting at me. And anyway, 1960, it's early. 1968, the Pentagon released figures showing that in the first 6 months of 1968, more Americans were killed in Vietnam than in the entire year before. It was mostly due to the Tet Offensive. And with that news, the enormous anti-war sentiment and disillusionment with LBJ's war policy, he said those famous words. And I was in Vietnam watching American Forces Vietnam Network when he said these words, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I wonder what this means. I'd been there 5 months. I got there in February, and he said these famous words. I saw them live. He said, I shall not seek and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
I was like 7 years old, and I turned to my father, and I said, he's got to be president the rest of our lives. What do you mean he's leaving? I mean, it's the only president I ever knew.
Yeah. But I remember he could have run again because they have the rule that 2.5 terms, whatever. But you get 10 years, I think is the rule. And I remember thinking, oh, my God. Because, I'm there. And I wonder, and nobody had any idea what that meant, or does that mean the war's over? I mean, are they going to call it? It was just, what a time. God, the freaking 60s, man, especially 1968. Wow. 326, Cameron, Pete, and Flounder.
We just got a call. It was Lily Tomlin who had the affair with John Travolta.
What?
Really? I don't think that's
she's a lesbian.
Right. No, that's not right.
The caller said.
No, that's not right. I'm telling you, it was Eva Marie Saint or...
No, it wasn't Eva Marie Saint.
It was one of those hot, blonde, older chicks, man. It wasn't June Cleaver. I mean, I'm telling you, I'll bet it was...
Lisa Marie Presley he was with for a while.
Well, she said wasn't 70 when he was 40. I mean, anyway. I'm telling you, in my head, I'll bet you that was the one.
All right, here we go. I think I'm finding it right now.
All right, well, that'll be good.
Yeah, she was 18 years his senior. And let's see.
Eva Marie Saint, right?
No, it's not Eva Marie Saint. Well, that's arguing with
Well, who are you looking with 18 years his senior? That must have a name attached to the number, 18 years.
You'd think so, but of course it's taking its time telling me here. Who is that woman? It's
Dina Merrill?
Dina Merrill.
Dina Merrill. I stand corrected. That's correct. Dina Merrill. Again, she was one of those sort of handsome blonde actress women, kind of serious, but a well-known actress. It wasn't a floozy of any kind or like flamboyant or anything in any way. She was kind of a classy dame, I would say, back then. Okay, well, I'm sorry. We wasted a whole segment.
Got that mystery solved.
Oh, my God.
Need to go to break in a minute.
In just a minute. Well, let's do this. He was told by his campaign, President White Trash, just today, once again, confirmed, and apparently the Podium Princess confirmed it too. This afternoon, he said, I'm not going anywhere. In fact, when told by his campaign staff that he was going to lose to Donald Trump, President White Trash says, you can't be telling me that it's over.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over to one side of this. Was it over?
German? Kennedy wrong.
Who's with me? Let's go! Come on! What the f*** happened to the Delta I used to know? Where's the Spirit?
Trying to rally his staff.
Huh?
Staff!
This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst. Oh, we're afraid to go with you,
Mr. President.
we might get in trouble. Well, just kiss my ass from now on. Not me. I'm not going to take this. Warner, he's a dead man. Marmalade, dead. Niedermeyer, dead. It was right.
Anita Meyer.
Psychotic, but absolutely right. We got to take these bastards.
Damn Republicans.
Now, we could fight them with conventional weapons. That could take years and cost millions of lives. No, in this case, I think we have to go all out. I think this situation absolutely requires a really futile and stupid gesture be done on somebody's part.
We're just the guys to do it.
Let's do it.
Let's go!
Toga. 3:30. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder honoring Independence Day tomorrow. Join us, 404-741-1230. Great to have you aboard. 3:30 in the afternoon. Go Braves. Holy Grappin Sports coming up. Pete's tweets, Flounder's funnies. All stat advised.
Latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events, and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
It's that time of year again when the owner of Central Heating and Air Conditioning, Chuck, brings back the 4th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Hey, it's Tug for Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If you want to help give back to the community, all you have to do is sign up for a maintenance agreement with Central Heating and Air Conditioning, and $10 from every new maintenance agreement will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. The more maintenance agreements you sign up for, the bigger and better we can make the 4th annual Christmas in July for Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. Central services all makes and models. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. So call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to sign up for a maintenance agreement and help Chuck and Central Heating and Air give back to the community. Carrier products, carrier warranty, and carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on XTRA 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Brittany. She's kind of clunky to me. I mean, she's sexy as hell, but she's just clunky. Sorry. And dangerous. I remember the picture of her walking down the high school corridor wearing a little teeny little poodle skirt and some, sneakers or something. It's just every teacher's nightmare. 3:45, Britney Spears, on this day in 2002, was at a newly opened Britney Spears restaurant suffering food poisoning. 3 diners got sick with their new restaurant in 2002. They were 3 students, ate the wild striped bass at the New York restaurant, made official complaints, and vowed never to eat there again. Britney Spears owned a restaurant. Yeah, I'd probably go there for dinner. Yeah, I'll have the clams. I'll have the cooties over easy. The girl's a carrier, I swear to God. No, I don't know. That's true. Let's see. Birthdays include Tom Cruise. Mission Impossible superstar. What's the one where he danced around his underpants and they had the people over to do whoredom?
Risky business.
Risky business. I mean, the kids are, and Star, what's a Star movie fighter jet thing? The guy is the jet fighter thing.
Top Gun.
Top Gun. I mean, the guy's an amazing superstar. He really is. And the fact that he does those stunts, I don't think so. I mean, that even you got to give him credit. I'll tell you that. For a guy who's like 5'7", 160 pounds, he's a hell of a movie star. He may be one of the biggest movie stars ever of all time when it's said and done. I mean, seriously, how many movies has he been in that are monster hits? Series of movie, the Mission Impossible series, the gunfighter star, airplane fighter movies. Shut up. Tom Cruise is 62. I swear to God, I know what it is. Top Gun. And Top Gun 2 and Top Gun, I was there myself. All right, also, birthday, he seeks to. And tomorrow, birthdays, famous people who were born on the Independence Day include Nathaniel Hawthorne, was born on Independence Day. Stephen Foster, who wrote Oh, Susanna and Swanee River, were among the 2 of the folks born on Independence Day tomorrow. Yes, sir? Were you signaling me there, Flounder? Yeah, we got Swatoon. Swatoon, you're on the radio. Phone calls go first. A happy Independence Day tomorrow to you, my friend. I know it's a special day for you coming here to this country on purpose and for the best of reasons. Welcome aboard.
Oh, yeah, to be alive.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I just going to tell you guys happy 4th of July. And keep up this good show. I'll support you, Kimmer, if you go flying up to that drone.
I heard the morning guys this morning talking about putting me on a freaking lawn chair. Thanks a lot, Swatoon. And Swatoon says, hey, it'd be great to put the Kimmer on a lawn chair with a bunch of drones and have him fly up in the air and see what happens. Hell, I'll do it. If somebody can arrange it, I'd take like a GoFundMe to have to buy the equipment to do it. I'll do it. Hell, I'll do it right now. You set it up and I'll do it.
Kimmer flying the most sophisticated equipment alive, right?
I would have to be something because I know I wouldn't be in control of it. Anyways, dude, you have a great Independence Day holiday break, my friend, and high and special wishes to the family. 3:30. Oh, by the way, I remember yesterday I was trying to remember the Wreckers. Song. Remember the song by the group The Wreckers? I forgot how we got talking about it. I wasn't on our music list, but we were talking about it for some reason. I don't remember why. And I mentioned that I had one of my favorite songs was a song my daughter Jennifer put on my music stick many years ago, and I couldn't remember what it was, and it was called "Leave the Pieces." I remember because I played it when I went home last night because it's in my car. You say you don't want to hurt me, don't want to see my tears, so why are you still standing here and watching me drown? It's a great song. Leave the Pieces by the Wreckers if you have any interest, okay? Let's see, 338-404-741-1230, 741-1230. Got a couple of newsy things. And again, if you'd like to share some Independence Day family stuff with us, love to talk with you about it and what your plans are and what you think. And by the way, if you have any thoughts about Independence Day, in fact, as I've said before, I, until very recently, have been the only person in my entire townhouse cul-de-sac neighborhood, one person, me, flying an American flag. I fly two little flags. I got an issue with my deck thing up to. Anyway, so I got two little American flags I fly every day. And just recently, about a month ago, a neighbor on the other side going around the circle put a brand new American flag up on his deck, which is great. And this morning leaving, I noticed there's one other guy has a small American flag too. So now there's three of us. And that's it. Three people. And I just, and that's just, and by the way, it just seems to me, because with all the stuff that's going on right now, I think, God, where's the spirit? Does anybody have any real Independence Day spirit of what they went through and what this country means? And I mean, I don't see anything on TV. I don't, I would think if the President of the United States and the administration were celebrating America's independence just on general principle, there would be parades and parties and things and celebration and fireworks. I mean, there's nothing except politics and hate and division and the screaming freaking white trash maniac up there yelling about half the country that he hates. I mean, God, talk about no spirit of spirit of independence, what it means. I wish that, again, I urge you to read the Declaration, to read the damn thing. It's long and it's unbelievable. And I'll do a couple more paragraphs later on today and through the day, just because. And by the way, I also love the language. We're talking the 1700s. I mean, those people could write. And they weren't writers. I mean, they were, tanners and farmers, and, they were educated up to the time.
Well, they were better educated than we were.
Well, Jefferson certainly, and his whole theory was the more you know, the better off you are. The Jeffersonian theory basically is that the more information you have, the better you are to make a decision. Anyway, I just the language is just wonderful. It's powerful to me. A couple of updates. The FBI whistleblower, one of them is at it again. This guy's a Democrat. Registered Democrat. His lawyers have now sent information to the DOJ and the Federal Gestapo of investigation run by the disgrace of Atlanta, Christopher the Cossack Ray, suspected Russian double agent. And it says the FBI Security Division improperly suspends or revokes employees' security clearances whose political views, medical views, even ethnicity were questioned by Security Division leadership. Over the last several years, FBI's used clearance. Again, the last several years, this is the last 8 years, Trump and Biden. The FBI's used the clearance process as a means to force employees out of the FBI by inflicting severe financial distress, suspending their clearance, suspending them from duty without pay, requiring them to obtain permission to take any other job while stuck in this unpaid limbo, and delaying their final clearance adjudication indefinitely, even for years. As I have written before, the FBI is not a private club for FBI executives to make in their own image. Congress has this letter now. The special, and this is a Democrat saying this, the special agent security clearance was suspended in this one particular case because he disclosed the improper suspension and revocation of other employees' security clearances. So they punished him and got back for it. The light of the Security Division's pattern of abuse in security clearance process and retaliation against employees who try to stop it, I request that the officials conduct a full review of the clearance process and how it has been abused. Here we go again. I'm telling you, we got a freaking clean house. Nobody had any idea how deep the swamp was. I mean, can you imagine the FBI? I'm an old fogey. I'm a baby boomer, grew up with Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. on the TV show. I mean, oh my God, these are the best lawmen. Who didn't want to be an FBI agent, wear those great suits and have the great big Ford cars driving around and
LTD.
FBI. My God. And now, I'm sorry, Flounder, what are you trying to get? Excellent. Is this Kim, our Kim? Oh, hey, baby, how you doing? Welcome aboard, and happy Independence Day 1 day in advance. Yes, ma'am.
Happy Independence Day to y'all. Hey, I went to work today, and I love doing this. I love poking the bear. I put on I used to live in New England, so I have my New England Patriots jersey on, and I have my Trump Take America Back 24
oh boy,
with the American flag on the back of my car. It's got even my dogs hate Biden.
Even my dog hates Biden.
if I could put even my horse hates Biden, I would love to do that too. But I was listening to. I remember when I was a kid growing up. Remember the bicentennial and all the celebrations?
Yeah.
My grandmother made me like a little colonial outfit, and we'd go to school, and it was just like everybody and their families would really celebrate. And now there's just such a division. But I feel the pushback because I watch Karine blah blah blah.
Yeah, podium
today,
girl. Yeah.
And you could feel the blowback. I think the press is starting to push back, and they're calling her out, and she continues to spew lies, but you know, you can feel that everybody's just like, we see you. We know you.
Yeah. And you're right. She keeps spewing out the bourgeois, absolute crap, but they're no longer believing it. I mean, and by the way, it must be more embarrassing for her because now she knows everybody's caught her. And now I'm not sure they're turning on her, but they're starting to behave a little bit more like a White House press corps should when they say we saw for ourselves. You can't keep lying to us like this. You know, it's just ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. She's blaming a cold and fatigue on the plane from jetting.
Please.
And one of the reporters said, hey, it was over 10 days ago.
Yeah.
So how do you justify that? So I think people are starting to smarten up. And if I need to go to war, I'm 57. I'll do it.
You're a true Kimmer babe, baby. Even though you got a boy's name, it's you're race. I'll go in the fighting hole with you anytime. We'll shoot them together.
There you go.
All right, baby. You have a great Independence Day celebration weekend coming up here, Kevin. Thanks, baby. 3:45 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Now let's get that top. Oh no, see, I didn't want to say that with her.
I think that was a euphemism. Getting a foxhole.
In a fighting hole. In the Army, it's a foxhole, but in the Marines, it's a fighting hole. Because if you're in there, you're not a fox. You're fighting. If you're going in there, you're ready to. I mean, somebody's head's coming off. Anyway, 3:40. Oh my God, 3:46. Coming up, even the former New York Times. Well, I'm sorry. I'm in a.
Well, if you're getting in the hole, isn't it with your fellow Marines?
Yeah, exactly.
So why are you fighting them?
No. No, the other guy. It's a 3:46.
What's he doing
Kimmer,
there?
Pete, and Flounder. Oh my God. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Is there any truth to the saying that better the devil you know than the devil you don't know? You know Trump. You know he's a big mouth. You also know he's decisive and loves America. The devil you know. Joe Biden? You don't even know who's yanking his chain right now. The devil you don't know. Think about it.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one has been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT. Or online at atlbail.com.
This year, treat yourself to an explosive 4th of July with Great Grizzly Fireworks. They're giving you a chance to win a $5,000 fireworks prize pack. Sign up and register to win at fireworks365.com/fan.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Winner will be selected on Friday, July 5th, 2024, and will be responsible for picking up their prize.
Hey, Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
I'm going to pull something on you here. Make you yell at me. 349, how you doing? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and you too. Okay, Wednesday. It was sad news on this day in 1986. U2 crew member Greg Carroll was killed in a motorcycle wreck in Dublin. He was running an errand for Bono. Sorry. The song One Tree Hill on the band's Joshua Tree album is dedicated to Greg Carroll.
Great song.
1986, yeah. I like their rolling kind of, it's got a momentum like a flowing sound. I don't know what you call it, but you know what I'm talking about. I like it. It's a rolling, moving momentum. And they're all almost, I wouldn't say they're all the same, but I really like the theme of it. I think it's a and I don't know another
barrel
band.
of Jameson's rolling down a hill.
They're kind of like exactly like that. Too. And I don't know another band. I mean, that was is this a leader in this style of music? I suppose I hadn't thought about it. I don't know anybody else who does this kind of sound. Anyway, I'm just throwing it up there. 350, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. This is cool. Our birthdays include Montel Williams. He's 68 years old today. Oh my God! One of the guys who's in one of his side pieces was Vice President Shiftless and Lazy, the Vice President escort, America's favorite escort, and apparently, what's her name? Shiftless and Vice President Carmela apparently sent him some topless pictures today to say happy birthday. Do you remember how much fun we had in the sack? Montel and his side piece, Carmela, Vice President. Montel is 68 today. So
look me up. I'm still a hooah.
There you go. By the way, anybody who has not had sex with the Vice President, is there the three of us? Okay. Let's see. Also on this. I mean, what a scandal. What a freaking scandal. By the way, can you imagine if she actually becomes president? I mean, seriously, she's a tramp. She got her job in California as Attorney General because she was having sex in public and flaunting it with Willie Brown, who ran California. Speaker of the House, former mayor of San Francisco. I mean, the guy was a powerhouse of all time. And he would show up in public with Carmela, the side piece, as his escort girlfriend while he was married. And Montel Williams, I mean, my God.
Well, her and JFK be a close 1-2 about who's banged the most.
Yeah, you know? Another good point. But again, I mean, think about this, and I'm dwelling this because, well, we're talking politics here in the middle of our birthday list. Because, I mean, think about this. Her first duty was that to be the border czar. Remember that? Border czar.
Yeah.
So she freaked out. She said, oh, my God, you're sticking me with the worst job there's going to be ever. Vice presidents are supposed to cut ribbon. I don't want to have to deal with a border. So she freaked out and said, I'm going to be concentrating on the root causes. The root causes. So she never ever went to the border. She went to Texas once, as I recall, or Arizona, maybe like 200 miles from the border. Never went to the border, and she wanted to discover the root causes. Okay, I remember saying when she made that announcement, I said, okay, golly, this is just off the top of my head. Root causes. Why would all these people want to come here? Root causes, golly. I'm spitballing here. How about maybe they wanted a better life for their family? We've made it. We've done it. It's over. We've got. I mean, seriously. She spent 4 years trying to find the root causes by never investigating anything or doing anything.
Well, some of the root causes is to bring drugs over here to sell. Some of us are coming here and rape and murder little girls. Yeah,
we got to give her full credit. We got to give her full credit for the 8 or 10 or 12 million people who came in here claiming that they wanted amnesty. I mean, the whole thing is just ludicrous. All right, anyway, sorry. 4th of July birthdays on Independence Day. Famous people who are no longer with us include Calvin Coolidge. The 30th president was born on Independence Day. And the famous goofball inventor Rube Goldberg was born on Independence Day as well. And let's see, who else here? Oh, on our this day in history. Oh, here we go. I mentioned yesterday I have a thing about one of my 2 new favorite songs that Flounder put on my Magic Music Stick. He put on 4 of them, but 2 of my favorites are Love Me by the guy, the country star, about the letter in the pocket for the grandpa and the grandma died. And the other one was Miranda Lambert's The House That Built Me. And I was, okay, see, look, I knew he's going to say it. Look at Pete Davis on YouTube. Are we on YouTube? Can the little people see what Pete Davis is now throwing up actually in his chair? Okay, no. Anyway, and so
it's a daily mention of Miranda Lambert.
Well, I love the song. I love there's a little part of it. I honestly I can't stop playing it. And the fun part of it is that in that song there's a lyric. In fact, I had it here. Hold on a second. I got the official lyric.
I'm just gonna blow.
I know you're gonna kill yourself. Oh, that's not it, you idiot.
Hang myself right here.
Oh, I can't find it. Anyway, there's a lyric in the song where she says, Mama cut out pictures of houses for years from Better Homes and Garden magazine, and Daddy made her dream come true. Anyway, on this very day, in 1922, Fruit Garden and Home magazine was introduced. Fruit Garden and Home later became the magazine mentioned by Miranda Lambert in The House That Built Me. Mama cut out the pictures. Homes and Garden magazine. So that was on this day in 1922. And I got a chance to talk about Miranda Lambert's song because it makes me feel good and it's happy and sweet. And I did get a chance to go home after like 20 years and see my old home where I grew up as a kid and the neighbors and so. And it was I still think about it with great warmth flooding through me about being raised as a kid and all those memories. So
estrogen levels high today.
I could be a girl. I could be. I know. I could be a fairy. But I think we can say I have a girl's name. Well, I was cute, and I was kind of, and everybody's favorite. Everybody loved her. Yeah, I know. I was a little pink cheek guy and a little cutie. Oh God! All right, Flounder's Funnies. Thank you. 356. My God, what do you got?
I don't even know why they talk to boxers like right away. Why do they do that? Why do they do? They do this on purpose. Why do you talk to the boxer right after the fight? Give him a time to rest. His brain has been beaten in, especially the part of the speech area. Give him the microphone, quickly. Former heavyweight champion right here. What a fight you had it, man. Ninth round knockout. It was this was planned. He didn't hit that hard, baby. He didn't hit that hard. Oh, yes, he did. Because you don't know where the you are. Anyway, I did what I can. God bless me. Oh, no, God didn't. He blessed me with everything. I'm making a comeback. Oh, no, you're not.
Who's that there, Flounder? Oh, Godfrey. Is that Godfrey, the black guy?
Yeah, but it's only his first.
You're...
video I got, it just had Godfrey.
But that doesn't sound like...
You're thinking of Godfrey Cambridge. No, you're thinking of Godfrey Cambridge, the old fat
black guy.
Comedian.
That was like 40 years ago. I think, oh my God, didn't sound like him at all. Anyway,
now,
that's
this
right.
guy
His name
does
is
sports
Godfrey.
Stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really? I don't think I've ever known him before. It's very. I mean, it's what a great bit.
It's very good.
You know, in fact, I'll tell you, I'm really being with the comedian stuff we're listening. I'm really being impressed with these guys are really funny. And I haven't been to a comic show, a live one. You used to go to what's the one in Sandy Springs up there, the Comedy Club or whatever it was?
Fact.
No,
Oh God, what was it?
No, it was a
Punchline.
Punchline. The Punchline.
And Jerry Farber had something for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but God, that was in the mid '90s. I bet probably maybe 2000. Around 2000.
Oh, Jerry's still doing
years.
stuff.
Is he? Yeah. And his brother was a big broadcast radio guy, if I'm not mistaken. Barry
Farber.
Yeah. Anyway, 3:58. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, coming up, you'll hear a call for rallying when the troops need to be supporting their country on Independence Day. A call to freedom coming up shortly. Also, we'll have the latest on even a rapper is saying, if you're a liberal, get out of my concert. Biden supporters, leave my show. That's coming up for you. Also, Liz Cheney's got something sparking her. Oh, and Pete Davis is later going to describe the suddenly more popular than ever social media craze called pegging. And Pete's going to...
Don't look that up.
And by the way, if we have any of Pete Davis's ex-girlfriends listening now, I would love to have you call in to talk about some of the habits of this certain activity that's... Man, frankly, I'm a little concerned. I have to tell you right now, I'm a little...
The word pegging never occurred in any discussion with anybody.
Yeah, apparently. Well, it's coming up on 4 o'clock.
FOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Doubling down on damage control. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden and the White House denying reports he might end his re-election bid.
Absolutely not. That answer from White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre on whether President Biden is considering dropping out of the presidential race following last week's debate.
The president is moving forward. He's moving forward as being president. He's moving forward with his campaign.
Jean-Pierre also called a report in the New York Times that the president is weighing whether to step aside totally false.
And we asked the president. The president responded directly when asked about this question because we said that we would. And the president said it is absolutely false.
President Biden has reached out to key allies, including Democratic leaders in Congress.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. The president also joining a call with campaign staffers today. One aide saying he told them no one is pushing me out. He's also scheduled to meet with a group of Democratic governors at their request to offer reassurance. Many will attend virtually. California Governor Gavin Newsom will be there in person. Trump campaign Deputy Communications Director Caroline Sunshine telling Fox News.
Whoever the Democrats decide to run, maybe they select somebody who's more active outside of the hours of 10 and 4 p.m. Maybe they don't, but there isn't anybody that they can put up, as we saw in the recent round of polls, who can beat President Trump.
Adding that her suggestion for the Democrats is total surrender. President Biden, meantime, also has a rally now set for Friday in Wisconsin. The CDC just confirming a 4th human case of bird flu this year. This time a Colorado dairy worker who was exposed to infected cattle and has recovered. The previous cases were in Texas and Michigan and also part of an ongoing outbreak in dairy cows. America is listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Testanor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text Rocky to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCKY to 42424. That's Rocky to 42424.
Look out, here we go.
Was a good friend of mine.
Yeah, stand by.
I never understood a single word he said, but I helped him a drink his wine.
Three Dog Night here, my friends. It was on this day in 1975. Chuck Negron, the lead singer of Three Dog Night, was arrested in Louisville in his hotel room on opening night of the band's tour and charged with possession of the evil cocaine. 1975. Of course, that was back when everybody was doing it, I guess. Although I always thought cocaine was like an 80s thing. I don't know. God, thank God I was.
No, it's.
I don't. You know, I thank God. I never.
80s, 90s, 70s.
Yeah, I guess. I am so lucky that I never. If it had been in cigarette form, I would have smoked it. If cocaine was in a cigarette like marijuana was or something, I probably would have smoked it to see what the deal. But I couldn't imagine just snort. I mean, I don't know. Thank God, because I'd have died. I know I would have died. I'm an addict. I still want to start smoking Lucky Strikes again. Almost I think about, I think I'll go find a pack of Luckies. Thank God they're not in the store. So when I look, there aren't any in there. I don't think they even make them anymore. Anyway, how you doing? Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 404. What's that? They do? Well, I'm going to have
You can order them.
I'm not going to do that. By Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, and our birthday list includes tomorrow's birthday, Independence Day birthday, Meyer Lansky. The mob accountant was born on Independence Day, and Ann Landers, dear Abby, was also born on Independence Day. Anyways, I pass those along. Modern-day folks include the girl who played Bailey on WKRP in Cincinnati. Bailey Quarters, her actor name. Jan Smithers is 75. She was that pretty tall blonde girl. Seemed like a real sweet lady.
Yeah, cute.
75 years old. And on this, I got to go to my phone here. Hold on, Mr. Magic with it, Mr. Froggy. Open up your brush. Here we go. On this day, I'm going to have to get my thing with the thing here. I do double whammy sometimes when I Google stuff to look up more than it actually shows me. On this day in 1940, America not yet in World War II, but two allies had to make a very tough decision. On this day in 1940, the Germans had invaded and occupied France. French warships fled to the port of Mers-et-Caber in Algeria. Okay, the French warships fled to Algeria. Britain gave the French Vichy government options following for its French Navy. The British Navy said you can either 1, join British naval forces to fight against Germany, 2, hand your ships over to the British, or 3, disarm the French Navy ships, or 4, scuttle them to the bottom of the sea. The French refused to do anything. Britain was afraid that the French ships would be used by the Germans to help with an invasion of England. So they circled the port in Algeria with British warships and opened fire on the French fleet. The French fleet, killing 1,200 French sailors, damaging the battleship Dunkirk, and destroying the Britannia and the Provence as well, because the French wouldn't give up their ships to help the British, so the British killed them and sank them. Tough times in 1940. They weren't fooling around, man. The Germans were there. They were there. And by the way, Flounder, let's do it. Speaking of that, remember the days. I mean, think about, compared with today, think about the days in the past when even Democrats were concerned with trying to save our freaking planet and save our republic, which is not a democracy. Even Harry Truman would have come out with a speech, something like this on Independence Day, when we needed somebody to support the future of our stinking country right here.
Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join others from around the world. And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom. Not from tyranny, oppression, or persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And should we win the day, the 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Aha. Well, of course, that wasn't Harry Truman. It was a movie guy, but still. I mean, really think about this. Think about today. How come the President of the United States, yeah, even President Crime Family, President White Trash right now, how come you would think that there would be something from the White House about trying to bring us all together like he, pledged 4 years ago and talk about our patriotism.
Like Bill Pullman just did.
Like Bill Pullman just did. Well, when's the last time we had a president that gave a damn like that?
4 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the division in this country. It makes me sick. It makes me sick to think that I am so old-fashioned that, we used to bring the family to watch the freaking fire trucks and the, Independence Day parades and stuff, and the cars and the mayor. I guess there are a lot of people, and all. I hope so. All the parades.
Alpharetta has one. Don't they?
Yeah, everybody does. I think pretty much everybody does. But again, it's just, it doesn't feel. I don't feel anything driving around. There's no. It's just, and the media, the news, social media. You're fine. Nothing is. There's nothing there. There's all the politics, and I don't know. It just, I'm excited about it because I have flags up every day, and I think about this kind of stuff.
I got to tell all these people who want Biden to drop out, you cool your jets here. You do not want him to drop out, at least not yet, because if they have time to put somebody in there like a Michelle or something like that, there's going to be trouble. Right now, we think we can win. But if he pulls out quick and they have time to get some campaign going under somebody,
well, just now a lead story on this is either Fox or Daily or not. It's either Fox or a New York Post. I think it's Fox. Former First Lady Michelle Big Mike Obama is the leading candidate to take on former President Donald Trump. New poll. Reuters asked respondents who they'd like to see take on Trump. President Biden was bested by both the former First Lady and his own Vice President. Even the voters said, we'd rather have Carmela, the official side piece, or Michelle, even better than the guy who's been holding the office for 4 years. She clearly a bigger choice than the rest of them. I mean, it's just scary. And
the headline
go ahead.
On Fox, White House press secretary insists, of course she's a liar, Biden will absolutely not drop out.
Yeah. He said he made it very clear today, and then she took to the podium and said he had a meeting, apparently, and his last word, he had a meeting with Vice President Sidepiece and some other people, and reporters who were there overheard him say, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not dropping out of the race, forget it, da-da-da. And then the podium princess came out and said that he's not going anywhere, so there we are.
Let's hope not.
In fact, I think that's true. I think it's a good thing. Now, do you think they'll have another debate?
Yes.
I think they'll have to.
He needs one.
Yeah, he'll have to. Yeah. Anyway,
now, if I was Trump, I'd say no.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Trump might be smart as saying, "Why would I, put the poor man through it?"
Just let Biden keep talking.
Well, that's the other thing. That's the reason I'd do it is to see. And although, oh my God, this would be so funny. How would they fix him for next time? If he doesn't have a cold, so-called have a cold, or hasn't flown overseas. So how? How about
the overseas excuse? The press came up with that, and the press went to them and said, "Why haven't you said anything about all the trips he was taking?" And they thought, "Hey, that's a good one. We'll do that one too, and then we'll blame the press for it."
Yeah.
I mean, the press is working hand in hand with them.
Well, in fact, just in today, former New York Times executive editor Jill Abramson is blasting the Washington, D.C. journalist press corps as failing to hold power accountable. Again, I promise you, as a guy who was a news person in the 70s, Nixon and Watergate and the scale, so these are not the same times of a press corps doing its job. She said, former New York Times executive editor, it is our duty to poke through the White House smoke screens and find out the truth. The Biden White House clearly succeeded in a massive cover-up of the degree of the president's feebleness and his serious physical decline, which may be simply the result of old age. Shame on the White House press corps for not having the piercing the veil of secrecy surrounding the president, conceding it would be a super hard story to land with solid Democratic sourcing. Please. But she said she worries too many journalists didn't even try to get the story out of fear they'd be accused of helping elect Donald Trump. That's exactly the point. Reporters being afraid of seen to be help one candidate, the one that everybody hates, means they're freaking cowards. They would give up their own journalistic integrity for fear of being, it used to be a thing. It used to be a thing. I promise you. Pete Davis, you know that. You're old enough to remember when journalism had a code and it meant something. It used to be there used to be journalistic ethics.
It's not just reporters, though. It's their editors and their publishers pushing that on them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it goes all the way. And never way. It used to come from the top down. Edward R. Murrow, you think those guys would do this kind of stuff? I don't think so. I mean, but again, that's where the poison is from the head of the snake. Anyway, more on that coming up. 4:14, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here. You go.
It's time for the Bortz Report, brought to you by Southern Exteriors, the Southeast premier home exterior solution. Quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years. Visit southernexteriors.co.
Okay, so Biden hasn't pulled out of the race yet, so setting politics aside, a few other things that I like to play with. Scams, email scams, message scams, phone scams. Start with the phones. You and I know fully well that the phone companies could stop these damn scamming phone calls, where some guy from Nigeria tells you his name is Mike and he's calling from New Jersey. And he's got important information about your Medicare or something. And these phone numbers from these scammers are spoofed, so they come from your area code. For some odd reason, you can always tell it's a scam phone call because before they start talking, you hear this bloop. Usually I say, "Are you a Yahoo boy?" Yahoo Boys. That's the name of the semi-organized gang of scammers in Nigeria. That's what they call themselves. Sometimes when you say, "Are you a Yahoo boy?" immediately they hang up. Most of the times I don't answer if they're not in my contact list. But sometimes I just have to play around. I say, are you out of jail already? Another thing you can do is just keep repeating, "You don't say, you don't say, you don't say." Finally, they hang up. You hang up. Your wife says, "Who was that?" And you say, "Well, they didn't say." Then there's the email scams. "Your UPS package can't be delivered. We need you to update your payment information. Here's your latest payments for Bitcoins." And the newest favorite, "All of your photos and videos are going to be deleted today if you don't click here and update your cloud information." Deleted today. I've been getting that email scam for about a week now. Bottom line, Americans aren't well enough educated in our government schools to understand what is going on here, so they get ripped off day after day after day. The phone companies and internet providers seem somehow complicit. Tired of it. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co Go now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
It is so important to prepare in case of any emergency, and there's one place you can do that, and that's True Prep in Marietta on Cobb Parkway. But before you get into preparing, you need to know everything that goes into preparing. That's why they have all these great classes. They always have an intro to emergency preparedness class. What about a bug out bag? Make sure that you go to their class on that. And also, don't forget, they also do blood drives, everything else. It's your one-stop shop for preparedness. True Prep, Marietta, Cobb Parkway, or online, trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Hey, it's Tug from my friends, the Frost family of First Liberty Building and Loan. You hear about their family's company all the time here on XTRA 106.3. First Liberty has helped hundreds of small businesses grow by saying yes when the big banks say no. On Wall Street, opportunities to earn big returns are everywhere. But for Main Street investors, those opportunities are hard to find. Until now. Our First Liberty notes are now open to qualified Main Street investors, paying interest rates of 8 to 13% while helping fuel the growth of small businesses right here in Georgia. With a few basic qualifications and with as little as $25,000, qualified Main Street investors just like you can earn an 8 to 13% interest rate. If this is you, they'd love to hear from you. Go to FirstLibertyGA.com and consider joining the First Liberty family today. That's FirstLibertyGA.com. FirstLibertyGA.com.
First Liberty notes are not obligations of or guaranteed by any financial institution and are not secured by any collateral. They are not FDIC insured or guaranteed by any government agency. You could lose money. Purchasers must verify their SEC accredited investor status. Securities are not being offered in any jurisdiction in which it is unlawful.
Hey guys, I'm Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly. Have you heard the buzz about Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy?
Thanks, Tara. I'm Dr. Eugene Wallace, CEO and head of schools of Seeds of Excellence Christian Academy in Austell, Georgia. We are Christian, scholarly, affordable, and relational. Seeds of Excellence is committed to nurturing the whole child, spirit, mind, and body. From daily Bible classes to weekly chapel services, advanced technology, world languages, fine arts, athletics, national competitions, and a dedicated team of great professionals, our scholars from 6 weeks to 8th grade receive quality care through a premier education grounded in Christian worldviews. By blending the Abeka curriculum with Georgia state standards, we offer a comprehensive and faith-based learning environment that equips our scholars for success. We are thrilled to partner with Our Town Monthly. We want everyone in the community to read all about us.
You're right, Doc. Seeds of Excellence is a perfect fit. Friends, explore SOECA.net and experience the difference today.
420. I call smoking. That's totally different.
Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, thank you. We used to have to form a smoking circle at Paris Island if you wanted to have a cigarette and scream. Oh my God! Anyway, 420. This is David Bowie. Yeah, Ziggy. It's so annoying. I'm so sorry. I know you love this beautiful music. It's kind of like Chopin or Mozart.
Okay, Flounder, I want you to get some Chopin and Mozart and play them and see if Mr. Musical Genius here can figure out which one is which.
Got it. Well, I shall tell you this. One of my favorite movies is Amadeus. And if you actually do like music, my little daughter sent me a message. If you are a music aficionado and things, a really beautiful movie. That's a great movie. It's long.
It's a great movie.
It's a really, really good movie. I get lost in when Sarajevo. What's the bad guy's name?
Salieri.
Salieri.
F. Murray Abraham.
Well, he should have won the Academy Award, and I think he lost it to the guy who played the New York, big tall guy in the New York gangster movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Gangs of New York, and the famous guy, what's his name?
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, I think I think he won that for that. Oh, here we go. This is Mozart. He's answering one call to the other. Listen.
No. This is Yo-Yo Ma.
What's Yo-Yo Ma playing Mozart?
But Yo-Yo doing Mozart, probably.
It is. And he answers one call to another. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Salieri. Well, in the section of the movie of Amadeus, when he goes to Mozart's house, and Mozart's girlfriend, wife, whatever she is, shows him his music, and Salieri says, "Well, where are his notes?" And his begin. And she said, "Well, that's it. He doesn't. He just writes it. It just comes out like it is." And he said, "There's no mistakes. There's no practice. He just comes out with it perfectly as it is." And while he's looking at it, the music's playing in the background. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, So I didn't even talk about Mr. Bowie. I was on this day in 1973. I can't believe they're in that old a band. I don't remember David Bowie from the early 70s. I'm sorry, I don't. I was out of touch, I guess. After 182 Ziggy Stardust concert performances, David Bowie in 1973 announced he was going to retire from live performing. It eventually transpires a stage persona being retired, and not Bowie himself. Only his guitarist, Mick Ronson, knew about the announcement. Came as a complete shock not only to the audience, but the rest of his band and his crew had no idea that he was going to stop doing Ziggy, at least in public. Sorry, that was my daughter thing, and I should turn down my phone here, but when my kid, I want to make sure I never miss a kid call, or a texting thing. Phone calls take priority. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. Every Friday, Susan's on the horn. I hope you're still with us for dragging us out so long. I'm so sorry, Susan. I hope you're still there. What's going on? My bad.
I'm still here. Happy Independence Day.
Thank you.
My independence kind of story, it kind of hurts my heart. I often wonder, how did we get to a place in this country where basically one party loves America and one hates America? And I just don't know how we got here. And people like to say, that Trump is the one that brought that on. But if you remember, what did Mike Obama say when on inaugural when Obama was first day she was proud to be an American? So it goes back, I think, to universities and professors and the communism and the Marxism and teaching us to hate America. But, the other thing that I wanted to point out, I live in Morningside, kind of Virginia Highlands, which...
Uh-huh. We lost you. Sue, we lost you for a second. You were saying you live in the Virginia Highlands, Morningside area?
Well, like Morningside, Virginia Highlands, and it's very, very liberal, unfortunately.
Yeah, true.
And on my street, currently as we speak, the only two houses on my street that have American flags flying proudly, we have, probably like 8 in our front yard, is myself and Kelly and the other gay couple on the street. What does that say about America? All these rich, white, liberals. None of them can. They liberal and college-educated women who were feminists, quote feminists.
Yeah.
None of them can bother to put a flag out, and it's us and the other gay couple. That's the only people on this whole street, if you can believe that.
What really bothers me, and you kind of hinted at the very beginning, the fact of the matter is half this country really doesn't appreciate who we are, doesn't appreciate what we stand for, and are just, they really don't like anything our country is about, and they blame us that we're based on slavery and we're white supremacists, and they believe in changing our culture and opening the border. I mean, everything they stand for is wrong. They think we're a democracy. We're not a democracy. I mean, they do everything they can to be the one-party system. They're doing everything the Nazis did, everything Venezuela's doing to try to stop elections from being fair and honest. I mean, I don't know how they got that way, Susan. I don't know where it isn't Trump. It's been going on for years before Trump.
Right.
But
I know, but they try to blame it on Trump, and I often wonder how we got here. Just what you were just speaking to. I was in Publix a couple hours ago, and there was this woman in there. Well, I call her a woman, but her shirt said basically like, we have to vote for Biden and Harris to save our democracy. I'm like, we're a republic. We are not a democracy. It's just unbelievable. Anyway,
you can't talk.
I'll share my story.
Thank you, Susan. To you and yours, sweet lady. We really appreciate you being with us every Friday. Susan's been a long time listener to this, and even our podcast and everything else too.
So good news here. New York Post headline says basically President Kamala Harris is the future of the Democratic Party. That's right. What Jean-Pierre just said, the White House presser. So what that says to me is if he steps aside, they're going to promote her as the runner, not Michelle.
Wait a minute.
And do you think if they try and put Michelle in, that Kamala Harris is going to step aside and let Michelle pass her?
Oh, wait a minute. Now, who just said that? Did the podium princess say that the future is...
Yeah, Shirley Temple.
And
the future of the Democratic Party is President Kamala Harris.
Wow.
So she's not going to step aside from Michelle.
Yeah. And we already know one after another of so-called black leaders are all over social media and the mainstream media saying if they step aside with Biden and pick a white person, it's over. The black women of this country in particular, you thought George Floyd had protests.
They've already lost the black men.
Yeah. Yeah.
They've lost a lot of black men. They'll lose the rest of them, plus all the black women, if they pass her up for a Gavin Newsom or something like that.
Oh, my God.
And by the way, speaking of reading the Declaration of Independence, tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the Unitarian Church in Nantucket, our great author Nathaniel Philbrook will read the annual public reading of the Declaration of Independence on Nantucket. That's pretty cool.
And is this going to be public, did you say? I missed the first part.
Well, yeah, you can go watch it. I mean, you can go there if you're in Nantucket.
No, I thought Flounder and I were talking, and when he talks to me, he cuts you off, so I didn't hear what you said. He's not doing he's doing a public reading, but it's not like on social media where we can tune in, right? Do you know?
I don't know if it is or not, but they do it every year there. They read the Declaration of Independence, which is cool.
Excellent. And I'll do a few more lines of that a little bit later on because it's important. And again, it's long. The Declaration of Independence isn't that 2 lines that we all know. It's very long, and they spell out the reasons for the revolution. And it's very clear, and I'm telling you, if you don't think that means something today, when you read that, you're saying, oh, my God, they're doing that to us. I mean, they're not quartering soldiers in our homes, but they're sure taking away our rights.
Overtaxing.
And they're trying to take away even more rights, trying to take away the guy to be able to vote for him for president. In fact, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court business in a second. First of all, I was going to do history and stuff. I won't do that. Let's do this. Our 4 o'clock hour, it's 4:28, brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimber Safes. Yes, unfortunately, it didn't have my safes down in Florida. Lost my medical records and boom, bomb. Well, keep your stuff safe with an Atlanta Safe House safe. They have a showroom in Ackworth. Check them out on the web to see how they can help you save your stuff. Keep it safe. AtlantaSafeHouse.com. All right, very quickly, more about the press. Again, the cover-up. The ex-New York Times executive editor says the people reporters were afraid of being accused of helping Donald Trump, but Biden has to be held accountable for his obvious lapses of mental acuity, even if there are periods of lucidity. It's simply astounding for the entire country, including its most seasoned reporters, to be as shocked as everyone was by the ugly and painful reality of Biden's debate performance. It's laughable and immoral for Democrats to blame the press now for overreacting to that reality. This is the New York Times former executive editor. A little more than a week before the CNN-hosted event in Atlanta, the White House also lashed out at the Washington Post, New York Post and other outlets for reporting on Biden's doddering demeanor at the summit in Italy, being led off stage by Dr. Jill, the cuckold queen, after he froze up at the debate. The press secretary saying any reporting on Biden's dithering behavior was right-wing driven misinformation based on cheap, fake videos that were deceptively altered. And everything she said is a lie. Yep. Everything. Mm-hmm. And one more quick thing. Well, we got a break coming up, but coming up in a second, you're going to hear, first of all, an update on that vicious Leah Delaria person who was talking about they should assassinate Donald Trump. We'll have an update on her problem and the Supreme Court, which I guarantee when they say this is a MAGA court, they're out of their minds, and we're about to prove it here in a second. And you're going to hear President Crime Family himself lauding the criminal justice system when it suited him. Coming up, 4:30, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder right here. We got it.
The 2024 election is in sight, and it's time for conservatives to stop being polite.
This is the ball game. This is for all the marble. This is like
this for the country.
This is 8 years of turmoil.
The voices you need during the biggest election of our lifetime are only on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Get ready. Diamonds Direct will forever change the way you shop for jewelry. With over 80 years experience in direct sourcing, Diamonds Direct is finally opening in Atlanta. Customers across the Southeast know Diamonds Direct for their unbeatable selection and prices, but return again and again because of their unparalleled customer experience. The experts at Diamonds Direct are your advocate in the dizzying world of diamonds, ensuring you are nothing shy of confident in your purchase. How do they do it? With the best selection, the best quality, and the best price. In fact, Diamonds Direct guarantees they won't just meet any local price, they'll beat it. So if you can dream it, Diamonds Direct can deliver it. Build your own engagement ring, tap into their custom design studio, or choose from hundreds of ready-to-wear styles. No other jeweler can maximize your budget like Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, coming soon to Buckhead and ready to amaze Atlanta with the best selection, the best quality, the best price, and the best people guaranteed.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on XTRA 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
It's the unsung hero of your home, your garage door. You never think about it. You just hit the button and it opens until it doesn't. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. So you're ready for a new garage door. At All Four Seasons, we offer fast service, affordable prices, and a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. Improve your curb appeal, lower your energy bill, secure your home, and increase your property value. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.com.
I can't believe I have a sheet of paper where this morning, before dawn, I'm writing down the birthdays of famous people who were born on the 4th of July, and now it's gone. I haven't left this freaking room. And I can't find it. It was
I should have kept the camera. I should have kept the camera on for people to see you freaking out in there.
I swear to God, I mean, I had it. Oh, here it is. I found it. I was freaking out too. It's like, what the hell? The crowd goes wild.
There was twice he just threw his hands up in the air. He's like, I can't find it.
I did. I was getting really ticked too. 436. How you doing, Carrot Pete Flounder? This is an organ playing here. The Allman Brothers. Listening to it right now.
That's correct, because they're in
the story, which I should now read for you, with Flounder being our musical director. On this day, 1973, Lorenz Hammond, the inventor of the Hammond organ, passed away at the age of 73 in 1973. Many rock artists, including Procol Harum, Keith Emerson, Led Zeppelin, The Doors, and the Allman Brothers Band, and others, feature the sound of the Hammond. He also invented a silent spring-driven clock. And during the Second World War, he helped design guided missile systems. Well, he must have known my old man then, because my father was I'm sorry. I should talk about my father, I guess.
He was most famous for his organ, though.
He was well known by, they'd catch him by the organ all the time. I mean, they go there, hey, by the organ, catch him by the organ. And he's right up there. Our birthday list includes, let's see, thank you. Birthday list includes.
Organ was big for him.
Thank you so much. Was, everybody could play it, though. I mean, once you got your hands on it, it's, nobody missed a beat.
You had to use both hands.
Well, it was, Yardley Smith is 60. You may know the name Yardley Smith, 60 years old. Her name is pronounced Yardley, is spelled Yeardley. She is the well-paid voice of Lisa Simpson on The Simpsons, and she's worth $85 million.
Damn. One
For
voice.
doing least, yeah. Jeez. I mean, they were all millionaires. I mean, they made millions of dollars off the cartoon show just going in to record the voices on a microphone. They didn't have to dress up, did no makeup. I mean, they just did the voices. Walked into a studio, whipped out a bunch of dialogue things, went home, and got $12 million. God. Okay. Our 4th of July birthdays include Neil Simon was born on the 4th of July, and Malia Obama is 26 years old tomorrow. I'm born on the 4th of July. Now, is she the cocaine addict, or was that, do we know whether they were with their mother, their father, or the two fathers? By the way, has anyone ever come up with a picture of Michelle Obama ever being pregnant or with a baby or anything ever? Has there ever been one single picture of a pregnant Michelle Obama or a Michelle Obama in a hospital room holding her new babies? Anything with a baby and Michelle ever?
The whole Obama thing is the greatest scam ever perpetrated in the history of mankind.
The man admits he's bisexual.
Kenyan.
Yeah. I mean, he said it in his book.
I think he's a Kenyan. I'm sorry.
He's from
Kenya. Sounds crazy to still say
I
that.
guarantee you, the man.
I believe it.
I believe it myself. Anyway, it's 4:39, and
think of this. We elected a guy that was like no one had ever heard of, whose father was basically a Dingleberry Marxist who traveled the world knocking up white women.
Yeah, whose name is Hussein. Middle name is Hussein,
and the middle name's Hussein.
Yeah,
that's who we put in there twice.
Yeah, a bisexual. Who talked about, I mean, read his book, read his stuff about him. His favorite minister was Reverend Wright, who hated America, hated the military, and that was his weekly sermon. Guy was a guy who hated the country more than anybody. Anyway, on this day in history, this kind of interesting. Speaking of inventors of the ham and organ guy, 1924, Clarence Birdseye founded the General Seafood Corporation. Basically, he was the inventor of frozen foods. He came up with a system where the liquid system where you could have a freezer that worked to keep your food cold. And again, remember back before this happened, back in the late 1800s, food spoiled. They didn't have freezers. So everything was different when they came out. This guy Birdseye, of course, you all know the frozen peas, and he's known for it as much as anything. But Clarence Birdseye also held 300 patents. His patents included infrared heat lamps. He has the patent for a whale harpoon gun that doesn't recoil. And he has a patent on a way to take the water out of food, which was what led to dehydrated and frozen foods. Clarence Birdseye. What a guy. In 1924, he founded his General Seafood Corporation. All right, here we go. 440, cover Pete and Flounder. A quick update on this monster. I'm sorry? Oh, we have Walt. We have Walt on the phone. Walt, thanks for holding, man. I really appreciate it. What's going on? Welcome.
Yeah, well, you talked about the ham and organ. I said, well, that's like the priest chasing the altar boy around. They caught him by the organ.
Finally caught him by the organ, yeah.
Yeah. No, what's you're talking about Biden Harris?
Yeah.
They can't, there's nothing they can do about it. The Democrats have boxed themselves in the corner because all of the money raised by Biden-Harris campaign cannot be used for anything else. If they bring anybody else in, they're going to have to start over.
Yeah, if she gets it, if he drops out, she'll get it. Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
If Biden bows out, and they'll elevate Harris, and that money can stay there. But the reason they want that will work because they control Biden and they control Harris. So there's half a dozen people around them that are running this country. Either one of them is running the country.
Yeah. In fact, what do you think about this? Well, last night going home, I was listening to Jesse Kelly, I think his name is, who he does our show at 6 o'clock. Jesse Kelly, very interesting guy, very historically oriented, real history nut. Anyway, he was suggesting a possible reason that Biden will not drop out of this race is because his gangster bosses won't let him. This is like the Cosa Nostra, with all the tentacles he has in with communist China, Ukraine, Russia, all the 120 marks by banks, suspicious activities with the money laundering, with the millions of dollars in the offshores accounts. The theory was that Jesse was promoting last night, not promoting, he was saying it's possible. Think about this: is that his bosses in the overseas power countries won't let him leave because they don't want to lose his link. And he knows, and they know too much. And he said, I'll guarantee you, they're telling Joe, hey, Joe, if you drop out and we don't have control over you anymore, guess what? We're going to tell the American people and everybody else in the world about what's been going on for the last 40 years. So I don't know, something to think about. I don't know. I don't trust anybody in this government right now. Honestly, I don't. I really don't.
One other thing too is that all you hear about is all the corruption that was going on while he was vice president. You haven't heard anything about what's going on since he's been president.
Again, you know what I mean? None of it, and it's still being hidden. When's the last time you heard about it? Tony Bobulinski, my God, he said, I was there. I was in the meetings. I know he's the big guy. Nothing. It's just everything going along. He's probably still getting. Hell, how did his granddaughter get money for college from some guy in Romania? Or Uncle Ceausescu, in Romania? How the hell do you explain that, Mr. Biden? I mean, seriously.
Uncle Nikolai.
Yeah, my God. Anyway, Walt, thanks for calling, man. Have a great Independence Day celebration.
Now we got Martin.
Martin, you're on the radio, my friend. How's it going? Welcome. What's up, sir?
It's all going great. So you haven't seen the images of Michelle with the bump?
Yes, I have. In the shadow where they show a see-through dress with a big long,
Yeah, baby bump. Not something you'd want to bump into from behind, but
yeah, and there's a bump, all right, but it's not where it ought to be with a baby. You're talking about.
Yeah. So listen, you guys remember what the 4th is about? Long ago we fought to break away from the British, and look where we are. It's BlackRock and all those guys.
Yeah. I know.
So, all the best for the 4th.
Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it. Semper Fi to you and the best of Independence Day and so forth. In fact, just for a second, let me just read another couple of quick paragraphs from the Declaration of Independence. They were telling the king himself why we were going to be breaking away. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. He has refused to assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He's forbidden the governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance. He has refused to pass laws for the accommodation of large districts of people. He has forbidden the governors to pass laws of immediate pressing importance, suspending their operation until his assent could be obtained. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. There's one after another. Pages and pages and pages of the Declaration of Independence. He has made judges dependent on his will alone. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. Stuff like that. For quartering large bodies of armed troops among us. For protecting them by a mock trial, cutting off our trade, imposing taxes without our consent, depriving us in many cases of the benefits of trial by jury, transporting us beyond the seas to be tried for pretended offenses. I mean, I'm telling you, if you haven't ever heard this stuff before, you really need to read the Declaration of Independence. It's astounding. And think about what's going on today and see how this fits.
Real quick, we got a lady on the horn named Coach Chester, and her wife, I guess, started reading the Independence on every Independence Day, so she wanted to comment on that.
Excellent. In fact, hey, Coach, is that you from when we did our live appearance up at the place up there?
Yeah, Rustic's Manor.
Yeah,
correct.
Rustic's Manor. I took my selfie picture with you. Absolutely. Anyway, welcome aboard. What's going on?
Well, thanks. Yeah, it was my late husband and I. He started the tradition back in 2009 of reading the preamble and the whole Constitution together.
Yeah.
And we take turns watching the fireworks there in Woodstock. And it just was so moving and brought us to tears, as you just said, what it means today, what it meant then. And then we got to the names and more tears because what they gave for us to be here today.
You know, I wish the school systems and the forced public education camps, or public schools as we call them, would drill this into, have the children, do skits about it, have them do research projects about it, have them understand what it's about, and really delve into what it means just to be lucky enough to be born here. We're not doing the justice to what our country has meant to all of us. How lucky we are.
So many gave, as you served, and so many gave so much for all of us to be here free today and to be free tomorrow. We have to be open eyes, open minds, and realize what's ahead.
Vigilant.
Take charge.
Yeah. Coach, thank you. Semper Fi, and happy Independence Day celebration to you and yours, my friends. Nice to talk to you. 447, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Independence Day tomorrow, and more coming up. Flounder's Funnies and Holy Crap at Sports and all kinds of good stuff.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins this show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Looking to keep your kids busy this summer? The Atlanta Braves youth baseball and softball clinics offer nonstop fun with an emphasis on teamwork, attitude, and healthy competition. The unique baseball and softball programs will help players ages 6 through 12 develop on and off the field. July's locations include Norcross, Marietta, and Swanee, but make sure to check out all the Metro Atlanta options. And don't miss the softball clinic at Truist Park on July 17th. Visit Braves.com/clinics to sign up today. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves country.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on XTRA 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
As an official community partner of the Atlanta Braves and the Atlanta Braves Foundation, the Warrior Alliance connects warriors and their families to free services such as health and wellness, housing, employment, education, legal services, and so much more. We need your financial support to increase our impact and change thousands of lives for those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. It takes more than just thank you for your service. Make a donation to help warriors navigate to success after service. Go to thewarrioralliance.org/donate and make a difference today.
Hey, it's Tuck here with an important message as the weather heats up. Southern Exteriors is gearing up with unmatched quality and precision. For over 25 years, they've been delivering top-notch craftsmanship that you can rely on. And let me tell you, they're hotter than the campaign trail in July. Got a home exterior project that's got you feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. From roofing to siding, gutters to windows and doors. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co. That's southernexteriors.co. Get a free consultation. Southern Exteriors, your home's best ally with any project.
All right, I got it now. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Uh, 1971. The last day for Jim Morrison of the Doors. Singer, songwriter, poet Jim Morrison found dead in a bathtub in Paris. The cause of death, heart attack. He co-wrote some of the great biggest hits, Light My Fire, Love Me Two Times, Love Her Madly. On the 25th anniversary of his death, an estimated 15,000 fans gathered at Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris to pay their respects. Jim Morrison, a member of the 27 Club. And we'll have another member of that coming up our next musical break here on Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder Show. 4:51. And our birthday list includes people from born on the 4th of July, include Al Davis and George Steinbrenner. How interesting is that? Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders organization and George Steinbrenner of the Yankees, both born on the 4th of July. Which I don't know. I should be surprised. It's just kind of interesting, I thought. And our current birthday list is a guy I used to read when he had a column that was printed. He may still be doing it, and I've read a couple of his books. Dave Barry, the humor columnist. Dave Barry is 77. In fact, he had a TV show, didn't he? He was on a TV show for a while.
Yeah, but he wasn't the guy. It was a guy from Night Court played him.
Yeah. Oh, was that what it was? Oh, that's right. Now, the guy, the judge from Night Court. That's what it was.
And Shadow Stevens was his neighbor.
Oh, my God. Shadow Stevens. Wasn't he an L.A. disc jockey? And all of a sudden, and all of a sudden became, because he was pretty, they put him on TV all of a sudden or something.
Biden is speaking. Do we want to take that?
Oh, yeah, let's go live. Biden here at the White House. Oh, it's a medal.
We're live.
No,
it's just on the...
Tomorrow is the 4th of July. Another reminder of why it's so important to know our history, not to erase our history. To remember the sacred cause of American democracy.
We're not a
Make
democracy.
up a lost cause to justify evil of slavery. To remember the nation that George and Philip fought for and died for, the United States of America.
Well, what's slavery?
That's who we are. That's who we are. The United States of America, there's nothing beyond our capacity in the United States if we work together.
What?
So God bless you all. May God protect our troops. With that, it's my honor to ask the military to read the citations.
All right. I don't want to have anything to do with him giving. He was giving away Medal of Honor ceremony. Oh, I think this is the ceremony honoring the 2 Union soldiers in the Civil War who stole a rebel train and used it to try to disrupt
the general.
The general, and used it
from Marietta.
Yeah, that's right. And some Southerners and the railroad workers caught him and hanged him. There were 8 of them that got hanged, and 2 of them are being given posthumous. This is from the 1862 or whatever, and as a posthumous
train robbers.
Yeah, exactly. 2 Union train robbers who tried to disrupt the South with their stealing a train and killing people and disrupting everything, and they got hanged. And now he's okay. Now why would he be bringing up stuff about the Civil War dividing the nation? And the first thing out of his freaking mouth right there was about slavery. Yeah, saluting our country about slavery.
Dividing.
Nice going. Yeah, 50% of the country just said, "Screw you, pal." I mean, God Almighty! I don't even want to. I don't want to have anything to do with this ceremony because I dishonor him so much. Just a freaking disgrace. Anyway,
another example to hate the media. Remember that video that showed Biden at that dance for Juneteenth, and he's the only one standing there stiff.
Everybody dancing,
okay.
but
at that, the New York Times called that video a cheap fake. Yesterday, they cited it in an article as an example of his cognitive decline.
New York Times, see? We just had the ex-editor talking about that very thing.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're saying, well, look at the decline on this man.
We knew all along.
I can't believe it. Geez, what a surprise. I hate these people. What they've done to our... How are we going to get out of this? I mean, there are people that I despise.
And that's the problem. The Democratic Party has gone Marxist. We know that. But the main problem is that the media has allowed it to happen, and they've covered for them.
They're the party of hate, and I hate them for it. Everything out of his mouth is divisive. I mean, what he's done.
Well, they're our enemy. They're not our fellow Americans anymore. They're Marxists. They don't believe they're Americans. They're here to destroy everything we believe in.
I know. It's unbelievable. Good Lord. Oh, let me do this before we run out of time. 4:55. That freak weirdo Leah DeLaria was saying that Donald Trump should be assassinated, a social media person, and was complaining about the Supreme Court and saying we've lost all our rights with the Supreme Court, so much we got to kill Donald Trump because of the Supreme Court that he stacked and so forth. She claims they'll destroy us of the GOP. All they want is power, blank them. Well, guess what? She should have reported the fact that because of the Supreme Court, it allowed her to be to to be falling in love with a person of the same nature. The pushback was commentators calling the rhetoric not only divisive but dangerous. Shouldn't violent content like this be taken down? Tagged the FBI, writing she's inciting violent acts on a former sitting president. I said the Secret Service ought to be handcuffing her and taking her to the headquarters to be investigated. By the way, she didn't respond to the fact that everything on helping her is going to be great. And by the way, this business about calling it a MAGA court, here's the record. The Supreme Court in this session has held 49 decisions, all right? 49 decisions. Only 11 of them were 6-3. Every other decision was all kinds of different ways. It was not a MAGA court in any way, because the unanimous decisions were about keeping Donald Trump off the ballot. Even the liberals said, well, we can't, that's wrong. Unanimous on Donald Trump the ballot, unanimous against the NRA on a gun control case, and unanimous against a pro-life doctor group wanted to do something for pro-life people. And the Supreme Court unanimously ruled against conservative values. 3 different cases, including guns and Trump on the ballot. Unanimous. This is hardly a MAGA court. 49 cases, only 11 were 6-3. Hardly a MAGA court. Flounder, I don't know about you, but let's do a little Flounder's Funny here if you feel like it, sir. 457.
Sure, not a problem.
And then later on, we're going to talk feet. Pete Davis has a thing about. I'm telling you, he's trying to mess me up.
Okay, everybody knows who has the foot fetish around here.
He's trying to mess me up. He's trying to mess me up. He's trying to mess me up, ladies and gentlemen, and he's not going to get away. He's not going to get away with it.
Cheap fare.
Coming up later. Also, a mom who has play dates with her kids and then charges the other family for her share of what she had to go through to buy the cookies.
I'm an entrepreneur.
And by the way, there's also a charge for soiling the furniture, because wear and tear on furniture costs money too. Anyway, computer, there we go. Flounder's Funny.
The problem being liberal is there's no amount of liberal that's ever liberal enough. Like, if there's a bunch of Republicans standing around and someone comes up and goes, hey, I'm a Republican, they go like, come on in. If there's a bunch of liberals standing around and a liberal comes up and goes, hey, I'm liberal, they're like, we'll see. You can believe the right is a liberal, but if you express it incorrectly, you're It's terrifying. You ever try to talk about, like, transgender issues in public? Even right now, you're like, we don't got to do this, Neil. Don't go out like your boy. Just move on. But that's exactly my point. It's terrifying. Like, I'm sure we all believe the right but you try to talk about transgender issues in public is like playing conversational Jenga, where you're like, pronouns, he, they, and then Republicans are like, so trannies? We'll call them trannies?
I can't remember his name.
Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan, yeah. We've had time. Excellent. 4:59 with a Kipper, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. Oh, a quick thing for the top of the news, and Holy Crap at Sports is coming up. Twice now it's happened with all this hot weather. Going home in the afternoon, like at 6:30 at night, where it's still hot. I pull into the station, and I'm filling up my car, and it stops after about 4 gallons. And I realized, remember we talked about trying to save money filling up your tank and going for gas, extra mileage? If you go too fast in the pump, air gets in there, and the humidity blocks the pump from working. It's happened twice, so now I have to go. I make sure I go much slower, pumping my gas in the hot weather. I'm tired. It shuts off. That really works. It's really true. Anyway, coming up at 5 o'clock.
I don't have that problem.
Kevin Pete, well, you're all electric, with a Porsche. It's almost 5 o'clock. Kevin Pete and Flounder.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
President Biden says he's not going anywhere. Elisa Brady, Fox News, vowing to stay in the presidential race, and the White House says denying is absolutely false a report that he's considering dropping out. At last week's debate continues to raise concern. Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House.
Much of the briefing was spent trying to parse the excuses for why his performance was so bad. The White House saying they're not trying to give excuses, but an explanation. First, it was that he had a cold, and then just yesterday, the president said at a fundraiser that it was his travel, his European travel schedule, which, by the way, ended 12 days before that debate. He spent 7 days intensively prepping. But the White House is watching these reports coming out, and they are responding to them.
The president joining a call with campaign staffers earlier today, also speaking with top Democrats in Congress. And next hour, he meets with Democratic governors. One Arizona congressman just becoming the second Democratic lawmaker to publicly call for the president to withdraw from the race, telling the New York Times this is an opportunity to look elsewhere. Caroline Sunshine, Deputy Communications Director for the Trump campaign, tells Fox News.
The American people, it's very clear, do not want Joe Biden. They do not want the Democrat Party. My advice to the Democrat Party would be total surrender.
Predicting a Trump victory even if he faces a different Democrat in November. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. still confident he'll be on the ballot in all 50 states.
Well, my job and my challenge over the next 4 months is to get Americans to vote out of hope, out of inspiration, rather than voting out of fear.
He also says any cognitive issues the president might have won't improve over the next 4 years. At the bribery trial of U.S. Senator Bob Menendez, the defense has just rested without calling the New Jersey Democrat to the stand. Menendez accused of taking hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash and gold and acting as a foreign agent of Egypt. 2 businessmen are on trial with him. A third pleaded guilty and testified. America is listening to Fox News.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text ROCKY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text ROCKY to 42424. That's ROCKY to 42424.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, ride a bike, ready on your dog, target. I want to go to Vietnam. I want to kill some Viet Cong, but help, right, Julio. Road guards out. Help. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kipper on 106.3. It's Wednesday. It's kind of our Friday. Tomorrow, Independence Day. It's not just 4th of July. With Pete Davis and Flounder. Boys, I hope you have just a great holiday celebration weekend. Flounder's going to do a little traveling with Miss Veronica, and Pete will be sitting in the lake, in the stream of watching the ducks go by. which is cool. And I was going to do, my normal charity work, and I was going to do a couple of speeches and stuff, but I heard the morning crew talking this morning say I've gotten so old now that they're afraid I've just pee my pants every time I try to go out in public or something. I don't know whether they've now locked me into some kind. And by the way, those beautiful morning bastards, they had a fight over the chairs. And I know you guys make fun of me because I say that there are some chairs in here you can't use them. They fall forward or they're too. They're just horrible. And the morning guys, apparently the salespeople have been coming and stealing the chairs at night when they're not after they leave to change them because they don't like their chairs. That's what he would. In fact, he said, I think, I can't remember whether it was the Rhino or Tug or the Smart One. I think it was the Smart One who actually saw him taking a chair and rolling it out of the studio into the sales area and switching it with a sales chair and rolling it back in here again. So there's a thing going on about the furniture.
They know we have cameras everywhere, don't they?
I can't imagine. Anyway, so that's the scoop. All right, 404-741-1230, by the way. You got a whole bunch of newsy stuff. President Stupid Face says he's not going anywhere. He had a meeting with Vice President Shiftless and Lazy. And the people overheard him say at the very end, so that's it. That's final. It's over. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. Well, in fact, Flounder, we had a secret camera sitting, secret microphone when he was making comment when they said, it's over, Mr. President. So you're not going to win. They're going to cream you no matter what. You're going to lose. And he said, oh, really? I don't agree with that whatsoever. The president himself.
Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is. Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Hell no!
German? Forget it, he's rolling.
It ain't over now. Because when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Who's with me? Let's go! Come on!
Silence.
What the f*** happened to the Delta I used to know? Where's the spirit? Where's the guts? Huh? This could be the greatest night of our lives. But you're gonna let it be the worst. Oh, we're afraid to go with you,
Mr. President.
We might get in trouble. Well, just kiss my ass from now on! Not me! I'm not gonna take this! Warmer, he's a dead man! Marmalade, dead! Niedermeyer, dead!
Niedermeyer.
Ludow's right. Psychotic, but absolutely right. We gotta take these bastards. Now, we could fight them with conventional weapons. That could take years and cost millions of lives. No, in this case, I think we have to go all out. I think this situation absolutely requires a really futile and stupid gesture be done on somebody's part. We're just the guys to do it. Let's do it. Let's
go! Road trip. 508. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How you doing? By the way, for the record, you'll get a kick out of this. Everybody's screaming about the Supreme Court, the MAGA Supreme Court and everything else. I just gave you the statistics showing it's hardly a MAGA Supreme Court, and on 3 major Republican issues, they got shot down unanimously by the non-MAGA Supreme Court. But here's President White Trash. A month ago, recall when every time Donald Trump got convicted or there was a court case against him keeping the gag order, anytime the courts ruled against Donald Trump, you're going to hear President White Trash from a month ago, and then you're going to hear right after that, President White Trash talking about the Supreme Court. See if you can tell the obvious difference between how he pretends to respect the justice system and then how he cuts it to pieces. Founder, if you will.
That's how the American system of justice works. And it's reckless. It's dangerous. It's irresponsible for anyone to say this was rigged just because they don't like the verdict.
The Trump trial. He's happy about that.
Our justice system has endured for nearly 250 years.
Respect it, yeah.
And it literally is the cornerstone of America.
Well, yeah, it's our justice system.
Yeah. The justice system should be respected.
Respected.
And we should never allow anyone to tear it down.
Never tear
this
it down.
This decision today has continued the court's attack in recent years on a wide range of long-established legal principles.
The court's attacking our principles.
From gutting voting rights and civil rights.
Gutting the...
taking away a woman's right to choose.
Oh, choosing. Yeah, women.
To today's decision that undermines the rule of law of this nation.
I mean, have you ever heard anything so duplicitous and so, ridiculously phony?
Hypocritical.
For political reasons only. And again, he was making those second comments in the White House, and it was all against Donald Trump, attacking the court and attacking Donald Trump, his political opponent, from the White House podium.
This is a guy who bragged about when he did the student loan thing, and the Supreme Court said you can't do that. Yeah. He bragged, I went around them.
Yeah.
What are they?
That's right. That's right. And here we go again. And by the way, they're insisting that he will not drop out of the race. And you know Carmela Sidepiece, the official shiftless and lazy vice president, America's favorite consort and escort, you know she's dying to make sure he stays in the race because he's not going to be president in 4 years. If he wins the election, he won't be president in 4 years. Either they'll have to round him out of office because he's going to lose it in public again over and over, and they'll finally say, look, 25th Amendment, you're out. So she knows if he's elected, she's going to be the first woman president in America.
Do you see where Nikki Haley, who last August had a big interview with George Stephanopoulos, and he basically just jumped all over her for saying that he wouldn't finish in 4 years. She tweeted yesterday, well, I need an apology. Well, you owe me an apology now, Georgie, for all this stuff.
Yeah. How do you feel about that now, George?
And Clay and Buck made a good point. What way is George coming after him in this interview? Is he going to try and prop him up, or is he going to just end the presidency right here?
Well, I was going to ask that very question. In fact, when they announced it was ABC. Of course, that was safer than Fox. He was never going to appear on Fox. And ABC, George Stephanopoulos, who used to be the press secretary was a Clinton or
he's
Clinton?
a propagandist, a shill for Clinton.
Yeah, exactly. And he was a shill for the Clintons, and then became an ABC correspondent. So talk about a link between politics and the press. Anyway, so my guess is that he's going to be forced to be at least like the CNN moderators were. I think they did a pretty remarkable job for who they were. Well, I mean, really, they could have deliberately made this a lot worse than them. I mean, they didn't try to censor things. They didn't try to edit stuff. I thought that was pretty well done on their part.
Well, the problem is ABC is not carrying this live, so we don't know what will happen unless someone links it. So the fact that ABC can sit there and edit this any way they want will show us exactly what they're trying to do. Are they going to prop them up, or they're going to end it?
Yep, it ought to be live, and it ought to be live at even 8 o'clock. Make it 8 o'clock, so he's not sleepy or anything else. Of course, it'd be 5 o'clock on the West, but still, it should be a live interview.
What's the excuse?
I thought that was the point.
What's the excuse of it not being live?
To show how sharp he is. What's the problem? Why would it have to be edited?
You know why?
Yeah, well, there you are. But again, the question, I can't believe Stephanopoulos would be, well, I mean, I don't know.
I can't.
I don't trust
anything. As the day is long.
I don't trust them. I don't trust him. I don't trust anything about this. Do we know when it's going to be, when the interview is? Is it next week? Have they announced a date? I should know this, and I don't. Anyway, ABC's Stephanopoulos is going to do it, which is freaking ridiculous. Also, Holy Crap at Sports coming up, and then also coming up, Pete Davis with his foot fetish. We'll be talking about all the celebrities who have made money showing their feet on social media for like 30, 40, 50 bucks a month, some of these girls. And some guys, God, how creepy is that, Jack? Anyway, he's trying to set me up here. We'll get to it. Also, the mom who actually had a play date with her little daughter's friends, and then the mom called the friends' parents and said, well, I appreciate if you could chip in $15 for all the expenses I went through to have your kid over here.
We can go long here.
Oh, okay. Well,
do the foot fetish. I think everyone wants to hear about the foot fetish.
Well, here we go. Pete Davis sent this story knowing that this was going to be a thing.
It's a trigger story.
There are celebrities who make money off their feet, and now it's become a thing. There are some people, I don't know their names, these girls who are models and so forth, and they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s. It could be of any age. There's one 35-year-old beauty tweeting pictures of her feet with a link to her account, and it turns out that these models are part of a star-studded list of names who have tried their hand or foot at this unique business venture. Pictures of their feet and videos of them doing things with their feet, even just giving themselves a pedicure with their feet. $15-$30 a month. And by the way, one of them says, boy, I'm just laughing at all the comments regarding my OnlyFans account about my feet. She was in the TV series Variety. She said, foot fetish is the #1 fetish in the world. There's nothing sexual that will be on my page, though. She said, it's literally my feet. And if people are willing to pay, then what's the problem? Her price is up to like $30 a month to $50 for a couple of months. Another charge is $50 of subscription fee for the month. Some of them want to have her smash grapes with her bare feet. One girl made a fortune snapping herself with pictures on OnlyFans, asserting if she made her a millionaire in 2022. She says her financial stability. A lot of people with feet fetishes are asking for images of her feet. Her tips on getting a foot fetish hooked. They love soles. It's the creme de la creme. If you show your soles, that's it. It's just the best part of the foot. You never show your soles first. Make them beg for it. That contains a gallery of celebrity feet snaps.
I think we get it here.
It's the number one fetish in the world. I mean, remember the girl who played Barbie, Margot, what's her name, said
Robbie.
when she did the thing after the movie, people just begged her for pictures of her feet. There's one after another.
The question here is, what have you requested her to show, or to stomp on?
Okay, for the record, once again, I'm telling you right now, all men, and let's say 80% of women, should keep their shoes on. If you have big, clunky, ugly feet, dear God, don't show them. Don't walk around in sandals. However, if you have pretty, dainty, feminine feet, and they look like actual feet, and you have maybe a nice instep, and they're not big, clunky things with the toes going everywhere and stuff, then, show them off. That's fine. But I'm telling you, I am not a foot fetishist because I think almost all of them should be covered up. But there are cases where there are some very sexy feet out there on some women, and they are the ones.
All right. You have a foot fetish.
No,
You're in denial. You are in denial.
I don't like 90% of them. I can't imagine being a foot doctor looking at all those ugly, nasty problem feet. Oh, God. But a foot fetish guy will want to see all of them. Not me, mister. I'm no Southside Steve. 516.
Somebody else in radio, too. But anyway.
With a camera of feet. Holy crap, it's sports is coming on. Yeah, feet this.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the Podcast Park. See you around, Atlanta.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Democracy 24.
Former President Trump's proposal to exempt workers' tips from federal income taxes is hugely popular, our latest Fox News poll shows. And Trump seems to know it, bringing it up multiple times on the campaign trail since he first mentioned it earlier this month.
Tell your waiters and waitresses and anybody else getting tips, because there are a lot of people get tips.
Our poll shows 62% of voters approve of Trump's proposal, 32% disapprove. When our pollsters drop any reference to Trump from the question, even more voters, 68%, support the plan, while fewer disapprove of it. Seizing on the proposal's popularity, Republican senators introduced a bill to make the proposal law. While the bill is a long shot with Democrats in charge of the Senate, Republicans say it would bring much-needed relief to Americans struggling with inflation. In Washington, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
Here we go. Your 5 o'clock hour is sponsored by our friends at Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com. 519, Kipper Pete Flounder. Hey, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Braves try to even up their series with San Francisco tonight in Truist Park after losing 5-3 last night, despite homers from Austin Riley and Sean Murphy's back-to-backs, and great defense from Jared Kelenic. Ozzie Albies an RBI. Reynaldo Lopez an off night, 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. Not a bad off night. Dylan Lee took the loss, and former Braves hero Jorge Soler a solo homer for the Giants. Well, tonight, the 4-4 Jordan Hicks, a right-hander for the Gents, against the 10-3 Chris Sale, whose uncle sang the national anthem last night and did a really good job.
Outstanding.
Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate tonight. Duval and Wall in the corner outfield spots. Zach Short at shortstop because Orlando Arcia has an abscessed tooth, which was pulled yesterday. Bravos are now 9 games behind the Phillies, who, despite not having Real Muto or Harper or Schwarber, just keep winning.
I can't believe it.
But they're playing the Cubs, which probably explains a lot of that anyway. San Fran in 3rd place in the NL West, 11 games behind the Dodgers. The Nationals have requested unconditional release waivers on outfielder Eddie Rosario. Could he be an answer for the offensive woes coming back here? He's not having a good season so far. Former Braves lefty Sean Newcomb also designated for assignment by the A's. A.J. Smith-Shawver will begin his rehab stint up in Rome tonight, so check him out if you're up in that area. And by the way, since Orlando Cepeda passed away last weekend, I haven't really had a chance to talk about what a great player he was. The Baby Bull first baseman began his career the first year the Giants were in the Bay Area back in 1958. He played almost 9 seasons there before being traded to the Cardinals, where he spent 3 years before being traded here to the Braves in 1968 for Joe Torre. 4 seasons here in Atlanta before finishing his Hall of Fame career with the A's, Red Sox, and Royals. He averaged 29 homers a year, ending up at 379. Just imagine a Giants lineup with lefty slugger Willie McCovey, my baseball card of the day, by the way, along with righty sluggers Willie Mays and Orlando Cepeda in the same lineup. Boom, boom, boom. An 11-time All-Star, 1967 National League MVP, the year he got his only World Series win with St. Louis. Orlando Cepeda passed away June 28th. He was 86 years old. Yep. Shohei Ohtani announced he will not participate in the Home Run Derby this year. Well, what chutzpah. The arrogant SOB hasn't even been named to the All-Star game yet. Who does he think he is? The best player in baseball or something? I'm not gonna,
seriously, yeah.
The cojones on this guy.
Well, really, I mean.
Speaking of which, he smacked his 27th home run of the season last night.
There you are.
But all the grown-ups in the stands missed catching it, and the ball landed right on the forehead of his small boy.
Oh, no.
No word on the boy's condition, but talk about having trust issues from now on, counting on the adults in the room to catch the ball. It came off Shohei's bat at 112 miles per hour.
Hey, son, you want to go to a ball game? No, thank you.
It goes right through a crowd of people, right in his face.
Man.
Oh, poor kid. By the way, the All-Star starters will be announced tonight.
Oh, well, there we go.
The ACC is not very happy with Clemson right now. The Tigers refused the conference and ESPN's request to move their annual rivalry game with South Carolina to Black Friday, up 1 day from the scheduled Saturday contest. The ACC has sent a strongly worded letter to Clem and his son stating their disappointment. Meanwhile, Georgia and Georgia Tech, as well as Ole Miss and Mississippi State, went along with the SEC's request to move their annual games to Black Friday. Why? Because it just means more in the SEC, and we're a cohesive unit. No diversity in the SEC. We're a fist, a powerful fist.
What the hell's this got to do with? I mean, why would they be doing that? They want a Saturday game, but they want a Friday. I mean,
they won't do transfer portals. They won't do. I mean, they're just better than everybody. So we'll just find out.
My God.
By the way, the new SEC Shorts gang on YouTube have a new video making fun of Texas and Oklahoma joining the Southeastern Conference, and the reaction from all the other teams. Arkansas and Texas A&M, the most angry about seeing their old Southwest Conference nemesis, the Longhorns, show up. It's very funny, and they joke about all the teams. There's even an appearance from Sewanee, the University of the South. Now, why would Sewanee be part of this?
How I love you, I don't know.
Because they were in the SEC up till 1940 when they left.
I'll be damned. Well, who would have known that? That's funny.
Lakers' new head coach J.J. Redick is adding former Hawks head coach Nate McMillan as an assistant coach, as both LeBron James and his son Bronny signed deals with the Lakers. But Outkick.com points out what a joke this really is. LeBron agreed to a new 2-year contract worth $104 million. That's $52 million a year.
Well.
Bronny, the 55th pick of the NBA draft in the second round, has reached a 4-year deal worth $7.9 million. The 4th year an option, so he's getting about $2 million a year. This contract is nothing short of a joke because Bronny didn't deserve to be drafted to begin with.
Yeah.
He's a small guard, averages 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists, shot an awful 37% from the field and 27% from three-point land, and I'm rounding those up, in just 25 games at Southern Cal. And they will not send him to the developmental G League either. No other 55th draft pick has ever come close to what Bronny is getting. This was all about re-signing LeBron, and LeBron is who controls the Lakers. Nobody else.
Good grief.
For all those thinking California governor and COVID dictator Gavin Newsom might replace Joe Biden on the ticket, he probably won't have enough time to do it now.
Oh, what do you mean?
Newsom is joining former NFL running back Marshawn Lynch and agent Doug Hendricks in a podcast called Politicking.
Oh, God.
I'm not joking. No joke, folks.
Marshawn Lynch, is he going to talk? Is he going to actually open his mouth and say words? And Newsom, who the hell would want to hear Newsom on? Oh, God. Oh, well, great. They'll probably make $1 million. We made $11,000 after 4 years or whatever it was.
We're on top of it. The Falcons are going to hold an open practice at Seconder High School July 27th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium at August 2nd.
All right.
And remember, kids, don't handle fireworks tomorrow for Independence Day. Let the adults who've been drinking all day do it. And make sure they have the right explosives for the job, as gunpowder enthusiast Joe Dirt explains.
So you're going to tell me that you don't have no black cats, no Roman candles, or screaming mimes?
No.
Oh, come on, man. You don't got no lady fingers, buzz buttles, snicker bombs, church burners, finger blasters, gut busters, zippity doo-dahs, or crap flappers?
No, I don't.
You're going to stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't have no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitters, whisker biscuits, honky lighters, Husker do's, Husker don'ts, cherry bombs, nipsy daisers, with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling kitty chaser?
No, sir. We're all out.
Whisker biscuits are my favorite thing. On this day, July 3rd, 1966, Tony Cloninger hit 2 grand slams, drove in 9 runs as the Braves blow out the Giants at Candlestick 17-3. Cloninger, the first National League player to hit 2 grand slammies in a game, the first pitcher ever to drive in 9. And in 1967 at Fulton County Stadium, Billy Williams, Ron Santo, and Randy Hundley homered for the Cubs, while Rico Carty and Felipe Alou answer for the Braves, all in the first inning, setting a major league record. And Rico, the big boy, added another homer later, but the Braves lost 12-6.
Wow. And by the way, that Cloninger story, I even looked this up myself because I knew you were going to talk about this, and I found something else I didn't know. I didn't know a lot about this, but Cloninger, the pitcher, used a bat of his teammate Dennis Menke to hit both home runs, and they stood as the only 2 grand slams, obviously, of his major league career. Still the only pitcher who's ever hit 2 grand slams in a game, as well as he was the first player. I think someone else hit 2 grand slams in the same game. I think it's been done a couple times since.
Fernando Tatis, I think, did it in the same inning.
Yeah, that's
Senior.
right. That's right. Anyway, but
I guess the same pitcher.
Can you imagine this pitcher goes out here? Let me borrow your bat, and he hits 2 freaking grand slams with somebody else's bat.
Now, wait a minute. You said Minky.
Dennis Minky. What's your Minky?
That is what I've been saying. Chimpanzee Minky.
Minky. I don't ask the Minky what he does.
Monkey is a businessman. I am a musician. He doesn't tell me what to play. I don't tell him what to do with the money.
To do with the money. The money. The grammar solved. On this day, 1993, Hall of Fame pitcher Don Drysdale died of a heart attack, and I'd forgotten how young he was. Don Drysdale, in 1993, was only 56 years old. One of the most intimidating pitchers who ever hit the mound, that's for sure. And a couple quick sport things here, Pete. Jackie Robinson. On this day, 1962, the first black player inducted into what they called the National Baseball Hall of Fame. on this day, 1962. There you are. 529, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. I saw this. Somebody sent me the picture of this. What do you think about this idea? If I could only find it. I got it right here. Somebody sent me a picture of a guy in a car. And the meme is, I was trying to help a buddy find a roommate, so I thought I'd share. There's a picture of a guy sitting in his automobile in traffic. The guy next to him took the picture. On the driver's car door, on the driver's door, in big white paint letters is the phrase, any girl 18 to 45 needing a free place to stay. Call 910-298-4668. I'm a single white guy. He's advertising for some girl to live with him for free if she needs a place to stay, and hoping he can, I guess, find a girlfriend or something.
Can we monitor the situation and see if this works?
You know, I'd do it. Which, if you were some little hottie who, she's new in town and she doesn't know, would just stay with you and put her up, and not necessarily any, untoward behavior, but someone she might make out with you to say thanks for, a nice day or something, stuff like that. But other than that, you shouldn't have to pay for anything, but you just got to wander around. Well, I wonder if this is going to work for this. We should call this number and see if I'll keep this number. 5:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on Wednesday, Hump Day. It's almost Independence Day, 106.3. Look at that. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Who can use force to deprive you of your life, your property, or your liberty? The government. That's a pretty large hammer to be hanging over your head, but there's a safety valve, jury duty. Because in America, the government cannot deprive you of life, liberty, or property unless a jury of your peers agrees.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, it's only me. It's only the Kimmer. How's it going? 5:31 for our buddies Jeff and Mark and the gang at Atlanta Safe House. I love telling you why I'm such an idiot that when I lost my medical records when I went to Florida and retired and didn't have my safes down there, and now the VA is telling me to pound sand, and it's my fault. Same when I lost my Social Security card because I kept it in my wallet a few years ago, and that got to, and boom, try to replace that sometime in person, by the way. Anyway, that's why you need a safe. You may not think about it, but stuff like that, my kids know where, if something happens, where my credit card stuff is, where my bill payment stuff is, my medical records. In fact, I just put a thing in my dental plan stuff is all that kind of stuff. Your living will, marriage, divorce papers, real estate stuff, contract, all that kind of stuff. Save that stuff. And I tell you this, the gun safes, I've had two bolted right from the inside into the concrete floor of your garage or basement if you want, by the way. Great delivery service. Really, they'll take care of anything you want. But these big gun safes, they're not just for rifles. I mean, they have shelving units and nooks and crannies and stuff, cupboards and things. I mean, they can do anything they want that you want them to do. They can show you all that kind of stuff. They have a showroom in Ackworth to check it out for yourself. And I suggest going on the web and check out their pistol safes and their jewelry safes, high security safes. They can build you a vault door. They can make you a family storm shelter. These guys are great. Non-woke company making sure nobody gets your safe master reset code but you. Please tell them the Kimmer sent you. Get yourself a safe and lock up the stuff you want to keep safe forever and ever. AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
When you're leaving the house, do you plead with your garage door? Please open, please open. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Let us take that anxiety away with one quick call. Our highly trained technicians will get to the bottom of your garage door issues. It could be a simple repair, a malfunctioning opener, or maybe just needs a tune-up. But if it's time for your garage door to be replaced, we'll make that easy too with upfront pricing and free estimates. When trust matters, trust us. All, the number 4, seasonsgarages.com.
This year, treat yourself to an explosive 4th of July with Great Grizzly Fireworks. Come shop their incredible selection of the biggest and best fireworks at a Great Grizzly store in Forest Park, Cartersville, Noonan, or Grayson. And do it soon because this year, Great Grizzly is giving you a chance to win a $5,000 fireworks prize pack. Sign up today and register to win at fireworks365.com/fan.
No purchase necessary. Must be 18 or older to enter. Winner will be selected on Friday, July 5th, 2024, and will be responsible for picking up their prize.
Being in an accident really bites. You need people around you that are going to make the whole process easier to deal with. I just described David Van Sant at Van Sant Law. He used to work for the insurance companies. What an advantage. He knows who to call, what to say, and they're not going to pull the wool over his eyes. Give him a call. Van Sant Law, 855-GA-INJURY, vansantlaw.com, 855-GA-INJURY.
It's Lee Come Key.
Welcome back to the Lee Come Key request line. Ready for something with a kick that's still smooth? Talk about a hot time at dinner time.
Crisscross.
This is America's #1 spicy mayo and non-GMO verified sriracha. It's the Sriracha Slide coming at you from Lee Come Key.
Turn it out.
Sriracha Slide on over to srirachalove.com to check it out.
Sriracha real smooth.
Marketing is everywhere. From the billboards on the highways to the notifications on your phone, we are constantly bombarded with people trying to sell us stuff. What makes good marketing? Are you doing enough in your life personally and professionally to market yourself? You have questions, and the Marketing Madmen have answers. Tune in every Saturday, now at 4 p.m., right here on XTRA 106.3 to get practical marketing advice from expert guests who are shaping and reshaping the business world. They say marketing is a madman's game. Join the Marketing Madmen every Saturday at 4 p.m. to find out why.
All right, hold on. My stupid little lamp thing over the thing there. Hold on there. It's only the camera. I got a thing over here. How you doing? Look out. It's only me, the camera with Pete Davis and Flounder 535. And Brian Jones, a member of the 27 Club. We mentioned last hour, last couple of minutes ago, sorry. Jim Morrison passed away drowned in a bathtub in Paris in 1971. He was 27. On this day, Brian Jones drowned in 1969 under the influence of drugs and alcohol, taking a midnight swim in his pool. Brian Jones, a member of the 27 Club. When he died, he was 27. The body found at the bottom of the pool by his Swedish girlfriend. The coroner said it was death by misadventure and noted that Brian Jones's liver and heart were heavily enlarged by drug and alcohol abuse. Brian Jones, one of the founding members of the Rolling Stones in the early 60s, used the name Elmo Lewis. I did not know that. Fairly weird. Let's see. Birthday list includes Michael Cole. You may not know that name. Michael Cole is 84 years old. He was one of the original members of the Mod Squad. The old TV series and the Mods, I think it was like 1968, 69. And Michael Cole is 80, still going strong, 84 years old. He played Pete Cochran, the last surviving member of the Mod Squad. Remember that little hottie, Peggy Lipton? She died. Yeah. She died at the age of 72 back in 2019. Marion Ross, who was Happy Days, the mother on Happy Days, was also a member of the Mod Squad. She appeared on the Mod Squad frequently. So did Leslie Ann Warren and Barbara Rush.
Right. Well, you know who Peggy Lipton, her daughter is.
Her daughter, yeah. My mind. I was going to say it. My mind won't say the name. So you have to. Rashida Jones, yeah, and the black guy from what was the other series? Her
daddy is Quincy.
Quincy Jones, the music guy. Yeah. And Peggy Lipton and Rashida Jones, one of the most beautiful. Oh, God, I just love her. And she, talk about a great set of legs, by the way. Yeah, and funny. I mean, one of the talented comedians. I just love her work from the Parks and Rec and all that other stuff. Also, the movie, but with the Zuckerberg movie, she was in that too. Good, yeah.
Who's it? Colin, was it Ferguson, the Scottish guy who used to do the Late Show?
Colin Ferguson, yeah.
What was it? Was it Colin Ferguson?
Yeah.
I forget what his first name is.
Yeah.
But he took her to Edinburgh to show her Scotland, and they sat there, and the whole show was just going around Edinburgh and them sitting at dinner talking about things.
Really?
And she's just as intelligent as
I love her.
She's
aces. Yeah, she's a great chick. Happy broad, 5:30. Flounder, were you trying to get me attention?
Kathy is on the line, and a few weeks ago we were talking about George Strait and some songs, and she wanted to talk about that real quick.
Kathy, welcome aboard, and happy Independence Day a day in advance. How you doing? What's up?
Happy Independence Day to you, Kilmer.
Thanks, sweetie. What's happening?
The day you talked about George Strait, I was sick and didn't feel like calling in.
Oh,
but anyway, I have two songs for you.
Okay.
And I also want to wish you a happy Independence Day and thank you for your service.
Well, aren't you sweet?
My husband and I are longtime listeners, and We just want to wish you happy Independence Day.
Well, aren't you so sweet? I'm touched and flattered, and I hope you have a great holiday celebration about what our country means to all of us too. And be safe out there. And call again back after next week or something, and see how you did. Thank you again.
Okay.
Have a great day.
I didn't give you the songs.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she has 2 George Strait songs she wants you to listen to.
Outstanding. I'm sorry. Beg your pardon. Go right ahead.
All right, the first one is Give It Away.
Give It Away, okay.
And the second one is All My Exes Live in Texas.
Oh, that's right. In fact, I got some messages about that one that I had not mentioned when we mentioned George Strait before a week or so ago. All my exes live in Texas.
They sound like you to me if you listen to the words.
Well, aren't you sweet? Thank you.
We love you. We
Thanks, dear.
work our schedule around your show.
Oh, my God. Well, no pressure on me, though. Thank you, sweet lady. And you have a great day and a great celebration of the 4th tomorrow. 5:40 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. All my exes live in Texas. John Daly had all my exes wear Rolexes. John golfer. By the way, this isn't today. I was in here doing work for the show, and all of a sudden I tried to Google something and hit the search bar, and nothing happened on my phone. I hit the search bar and I wouldn't do anything. And then there was a little sign down saying something or other, and I've never seen that before. So I was totally flabbergasted. I ran into Flounder and said, "What the hell is this?" And you had never seen it before either. There was some line popped up about it was like some kind of censorship thing or something or other, and finally got it back again. But where the hell did that come from? Flounder had never seen it before. I mean, what the hell's going on? And check this out. All of a sudden on my Facebook, I got a message on my the Kimmer Show, or not Kimmer Show, my Kim Peterson Facebook page, whatever it's called, and it was from Monday morning, and it says, "My name is Meta AI. Think of me like an assistant who is here to help you learn, plan, and connect. What can I help you with today? You started a conversation about basketball superstars post." No, I didn't. I don't know how did this Meta all of a sudden say I'm here to help you and connect with you and plan? Where did that come from?
Something. I don't know.
And then it goes on about this Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl, and it talks about her for a while. I don't want Meta AI in my messages. Leave me alone. I mean, anyway, I just don't get any of this stuff. Okay, now we're going to change the topic here. And by the way, the Democratic Party, once again, you mentioned earlier, if you just joined us, it's official. They said at the White House, let's see if I can get the exact quote here. Vice President Carmela Sidepiece, America's favorite shiftless and lazy vice president, quote, is the future of the Democratic Party, they declared today. White House Press Secretary Janine Barun-Chang also referred to her saying this: one of the reasons why he picked the vice president, President Kamala Harris, is because she's indeed the future of the party. They're calling her now President Carmela Sidepiece, the future of the party. As Biden announced today, he's not going anywhere. So all that nonsense that's going on is, I guess, just total nonsense. Well, I don't know. We'll see. 404-741-1230. What's the matter?
We have Bunny on the line. She wants to tell you to lighten up.
Okay. Hi, Bunny. What have I done to cause you to call me to tell me to lighten up?
Francis.
Well, you've said a lot of great things. And I love your history. I love Pete. I love Flounder. Y'all just make my weekend. And it's an early weekend, and we all just need to take a deep breath. Trump is gonna survive.
Yes, please let that be coming true. I'm so tired of I was talking about the issue of patriotism. You don't see any American flags. Nobody's talking about it. There's nothing. You'd think on TV they'd be playing John Philip Sousa songs. I mean, there's nothing. I feel it in my heart. I have it on my deck with my flags. But it just, there's nothing. I just feel so bad about what's going on in this country. It's a shame that if the thing that ought to be uniting us is what our country stands for. That's why those millions of people that's why they all want to come here, because we're the best. Why can't we celebrate that and put aside all the stuff that should not be dividing it? It never used to be like this, political differences in the parties. This is vicious, and it's all done by the liberals hating Donald Trump. And
I'll say 3 words: Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah, the divider in chief.
Yep.
You're right. Bunny, you're very sweet to call. Thank you so much. And I hope your 4th of July Independence Day celebration is as happy and fulfilling as ours is going to be here, too.
But I can't wait till Monday when you come back.
Well, aren't you sweet? We'll look forward to hearing from you, buddy. You have a great holiday Independence Day celebration, sweet girl. Thank you so much. 544. Isn't that nice? People are so nice. People are so nice.
Unless your name is Matt Croyle.
Oh, Matt, what I do now?
Tweeted this.
Yeah.
If you have friends and family members who support Trump, if it comes down to it, you may literally have to kill them before they kill you. This is where this is headed. This is a 50-alarm blinking fire.
You know, people like that, there's got to be some kind of charge for socially calling for murders and killing and assassinations, killing your family. Is that what he's saying? You're going to have to kill your own family, basically? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah.
What's this guy's name again?
Matt Croyle.
We ought to try to find out something about Matt Croyle. I wonder if his family knows this. I mean, maybe that's why he's saying it, because they said maybe they're going to threaten to kill him. I mean, this is unbelievable. By the way, where did all this come from all of a sudden, calling for assassinations? That's the Democrats. That's not Republicans calling for it. It's the Democrats.
Marty's on the line.
Violence.
Marty's on the phone, and he wanted to talk about this subject with you.
Marty, you're on the radio, my friend. What do you think?
Hey, just wanted to see, just like I asked those bastards this morning, and it being near Happy Independence Day, by the way, Happy Early Independence.
Well, thank you so much.
That would you, as your crew there, be willing to take a bullet for the president? I know it's not the definition of patriotism, but I love my country and I love what it represents. And
I would still fight for I would still fight for my country. And if the president of the United States called me personally and said, "Peterson, I hate your guts, but I need you up here to go kill a bad guy or protect me from something," I said, "Yes, sir, I'm coming." But obviously I wouldn't like it. And if I had an 18-year-old, I'd say, don't join the Marines yet. Wait, see what happens in the election, stuff like that. But clearly, I'm a patriot, and I would take a bullet for my country and anyway. So I don't have a problem with that still.
How about for your president? Any president?
Probably. Well, I mean, it depends. If he's trying to use me for political purposes to make a point to get election, then screw yourself. But if there's a problem, if our country needs me to fight and die or kill for my country, I did it once, I'll do it again. I have no problem with it. Absolutely. We're still this ours. And by the way, a lot of the manpower in this country ought to feel the same freaking way. Anyway, Amen. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Anyway, I hope I answered your question. I'm glad you called. 546. We got a little more left. Flounder's funny, and we got some Pete's Sweets, I'll bet you, too. Somewhere in there, perhaps. With a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, I'm getting hoarse all of a sudden. I've been doing too much yelling. Luckily, I got a couple of days to rest and relax. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 106.3. Look out.
All my exes live in Texas. And Texas is a place I dearly love to be.
It's one of the biggest elections of our lifetime, and it's never been more important to get the news you need without the bias.
The Democrats have to replace Joe Biden, or they know they cannot win this election.
Trust the conservative voice of Atlanta for the breaking news and latest changes without the spin.
That's what I mean by fixed election. There's no chance if the media and the Department of Justice and social media are all against you.
This is Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3 FM and the XTRA app.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now, I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, cpapsetc.com.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
Hi, it's Glenn Beck, and I saw a statistic recently that jumped out at me. In 2017, home equity grew by a staggering $908 billion in America. That represents a 12% increase year over year. For most Americans, home equity is the biggest chunk of their personal wealth. At realestateagentsitrust.com, we see adult children who seek our help and sell their parents' homes. Often, the home is in a distant city and the condition of the home can be poor. And of course, our agents at realestateagentsitrust.com go above and beyond to help those families sell these homes, and that's a great feeling for everybody involved, including us. But it makes me wonder if there might be a better way. Have you considered looking at the equity you have in your home? It might be smart to sell now and downsize and have that equity to enjoy your golden years. If so, I urge you to go to realestateagentsitrust.com and let one of our agents see what might be possible by leveraging the equity in your home. realestateagentsitrust.com. That's real estate.
Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks leader, 53. Gloria Allred, the lawyer girl, kind of uppity lawyer, femme girl type girl, is 83 years old. And you may know the name Betty Buckley, is 77. She was the gym teacher, Miss Collins, in Carrie. Years later, she played Abby on 8 is Enough. And she was in the M. Night Shyamalan movies, The Happening and Split, for some reason there. And on this day in history, 1863, the three-day Battle of Gettysburg finally ended, a major victory for the North, considered the turning point of the war because Confederate troops were basically forced to retreat and never fully recovered, it says here. Obviously, there was something like 50 or 60,000 casualties over the 3 days, just brutal. And let's see, George Washington officially took command of the Continental Army on this day in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1775. So, there you go. Let's see, 5:52 with the Kim Repeat and Flounder. And a quote or two of famous people from our history about the 4th of July. Alexander Hamilton. Those who stand for nothing fall for anything. John Philip Sousa, the red, white, and starry blue is freedom's shield and hope. Ronald Reagan, if we ever forget we're one nation under God, we will be one nation gone under. Anyway. Independence Day tomorrow. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. By the way, I was going to mention this the other day, and I didn't get to it. The reason that Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s family did not want him and does not want him to continue running for president is because of what his life used to be like. There's a Vanity Fair article that came out and talked about Robert Kennedy Jr. Let's see, texted a photograph to a friend they're talking about some time ago with posing with an unidentified woman and the barbecued remains of what appears to be a dog. Kennedy, this RFK Jr., traveling to Asia, enjoying restaurants in Korea, says, where they serve dog, and he showed a sample of him eating dog. Same year he was diagnosed with a dead tapeworm in his brain. At Harvard in the mid-'70s, RFK Jr. was injecting speedballs, heroin, and cocaine. He was a Pied Piper to friends and family, shooting up with his troubled brother, David Kennedy. He had his best friend, Chris, battle through college and law school into his early professional life in the DA's office. Family lore had it the Kennedy at Harvard once leapt the gap, took a leap over the gap between two 6-story buildings. He had an owl in his house. He carried a live snake around campus. He was a drug taker and risky behavior guy at odds with his mother, Ethel, who threw him out of the house. Jackie Kennedy Onassis forbade her own children, John and Caroline, from playing with RFK Jr. and his brothers. Growing up being a Kennedy, feel like you could do anything you wanted. He went to the Putney School in Vermont. His best friend's there, a girl there. They had 4 kids together, hired a 23-year-old woman as a part-time babysitter, and he used to try to fondle her and molest her, rubbed her leg under a table at the dinner table. I mean, one thing after another. He went into her bedroom and he was looking through her diary, and he wanted her to rub lotion all over him, and she said, I did, but it was so icky, she finally quit. Anyway, he went on and on and on. And they're saying there's a lot about his. Now, he's been clean and sober for many years, but there's a lot about the RFK Jr. thing that the family just didn't want to be going through all this stuff.
He says it was a goat, not a dog.
Oh, is that what he said? Is that what he says? Okay. Well, then we should stand corrected, I suppose. 5:55 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, by the way, I don't know much about this story, but Pete and I are both ordained ministers, as you know. Archaeologists have excavated at the site of a church a relic that they believe is tied to Moses receiving the 10 Commandments. It's a shrine that they found containing an ivory box adorned with Christian motifs that dates back 1,500 years, discovered in southern Austria. One motif shows a man turning his head with his hand rising out of the sky above, with a hand rising out of the sky above him, placing something between that person's arms, followed by depictions of biblical figures. The typical depiction of the handing over of the laws of Moses on Mount Sinai, the beginning of the covenant between God and man from the Old Testament. Now, the last motif depicts a man in a chariot with 2 horses harnessed to it. The motif features the same hand coming out of the clouds, pulling this figure up into heaven. They assume it's the depiction of the ascension of Christ. The scenes from the Old Testament and their connection with scenes from the New Testament, typical of the late antiquity and thus fits in with our situation. But the depiction of the ascension of Christ with a so-called biga, a 2-horse chariot, is very special and previously unknown. And they're thinking that this is the tablets and then the ascension of Christ up into heaven. And I mean, who knows? I wonder if they're ever going to find the Ark of the Covenant.
And they claim it's in Ethiopia.
They say they know where it is, and whether they'll get the Noah's Ark, whether that's still possibly. I think they found part of the wood from that. They think, as I recall, it's somewhere on the top of some mountain that used to be something. I don't know. Anyway, we're almost out of time, but I did, again, quickly, if you haven't had the opportunity, I really suggest to you that you read the Declaration of Independence. It's long. It goes on forever, and it's important that you try to compare what's going on back then with what's going on now. Just quickly, the very first course that people remember. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. I won't dwell on this, but one more line that we all know. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Then, to the very end, then they list the reasons. The king has refused to assent to laws that are wholesome and necessary for the public good, refused others to be elected with their own legislative powers, on and on and on. There's one after another, after another, after another. The reasons why they did this. Again, these people were traitors to their country. And it was so important that they listed the reasons. And when you read them, you will understand what the hell they were talking about. And that at the end of it, it gets to this. We therefore hold the representatives to be assembled that we and other acts and things we are independent states may have right to support this declaration, a firm reliance on the protection of the divine providence. We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. 558. 106.3, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder.
I had a thing that happened that I do. It was like, I got to get it together. Like, I like to golf. And so I was sometimes bring clubs and I'll golf on the road. And so I was in Florida and we go golfing. It's very hot, humid, gross. You get kind of feeling gross. So I wanted to change shirts before I drove back. I go to the trunk of my car and I take my shirt off, standing there, no shirt. And this old man walks up and goes, Olivia? I had to turn. I was like, I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, sorry. Honest mistake. And I was like, I don't know. He was looking for his elderly wife and saw
you,
me with no shirt on and thought that could be Olivia. At a car that he does not recognize. None of this is making him not. He's like, I don't know. That's a dead ringer for Olivia. I don't know who he disrespected more, me or Olivia, to be honest. I mean.
Is that Nate Bargatze?
It is. The one and only.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, God bless America. Independence Day. Celebrate. Well, in the Kimmer, gotta go. You're killing me. Pete Davis and Flounder. Boys, have a great couple of days. Okay, Christine, sing me home, baby. Hoorah! Semper Fi!
Doug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta, Extra 106.3.
The July weekend, you'll have lots of company. Fox's Alexis McAdams is at Newark Liberty International Airport.
One thing to keep an eye on is there is an issue with a shortage of air traffic controllers. So already twice this week at Newark, they had to pause arrivals because they just didn't have the staff to keep up. Chicago, Dallas, Denver, and LaGuardia in New York, all pretty busy. The TSA says a record number of travelers will pass through security checkpoints this year. And travelers say, hey, get to the airport early.